And we're back. A little later than intended, but that's okay. It's time to go to Belsavis.
Welcome to Macula Station, gateway to the Belsavis penal colonies. Feel free to ask me about our correctional facilities.
Can it, 05? This is a prison, not a tourist attraction. Looks like Warden Plate's already given you clearance to enter. I'll assume you aren't bringing anything you shouldn't be.
What can you tell me about Belsavis?
Not much, I'm afraid. Only the worst of the worst find themselves here. Be glad your stay is only temporary. Normally, I'd confiscate your equipment, but the Warden wants you planetside ASAP. Given the situation, I figure he'll want you carrying.
What does the Warden want with me?
Couldn't say. Best not to keep him waiting, though. Just take the shuttle and report to the Warden immediately. And be careful, it's nasty down there.
Meals can help. I can attest. I just finished my breakfast or lunch like 5 minutes ago. Not there yet. Too hot, so I haven't been able to try it yet, Evo. I know it, Malachor. You secretly just wanted me to do this all by myself. Just so you could torture me into submission. I'll never join you. I'll never join the dark side. Until I've done like 5 minutes of Belsavis. Then I'll join the dark side.
You're wasting my time. We're in a crisis. There are over 10,000 prisoners running loose. Most of the wardens are dead. Senator Dodonna is seriously overstepping herself if she thinks I'm gonna drop that to help you offer some madman an extra bedtime story.
I think we got off on the wrong foot. Marshal Kavarat, I presume?
You blasted well know who I am, so shut off the charm. Here's what you need. Prisoner number 91403, cell block 923A. This code will get you in a cell. Beyond that, I'm not interested.
Look, I'm not here to make things difficult.
Yeah, I get it. But when someone with your pool comes down, I'd rather see you working to make things right. The cells you're looking for were damaged in the strike. We're spread too thin to retake everything, so we threw that lot to the mob. Some prison gang took over, shut down all access.
They won't have locked themselves up without an escape route.
How do you suggest we find it? Look, you want to figure out which gang claims what and how hard they'll fight you for it? You gotta ask someone on the inside, same as us. Talk to Amikab. He's our best snitch. We've got him set up in the minimum security yard. Now I've got real work to do.
Pretty sure you won't die.
Interesting. Hi, Nemesis. Hello, Space Cadet. And yes, no flirting, I'm afraid. Hi, Hazardous. Jazz music. Probably Latario. Also related to the Dodonna in, Star Wars. Family lines last millennia in Star Wars, apparently. Well, so far terrible Hazardous, but I think that's just because I've been sick for like the last week. I have not been able to properly take advantage of the reduced stream time thus far. At some point I hope to actually get a full night's rest, but that hasn't happened yet. Oh, where's Giga? Where's Giga? No! How am I going to endure Belsavis without pudding?
Sure you won't die.
Hey, Mr. Red. No, well, I don't know what I was sick with. I'm at recovery phase at this point. Oh, there's the pudding. Oh, thank goodness.
You made it. Took you long enough. Let's get to it, shall we? I'm Warden Plate. This here's my second-in-command, Growl. Now, let's get one thing straight. This is my prison. You want to help out, bust a few heads, fine. But you'll do things my way. Understand?
Somebody want to explain what's going on?
You haven't heard? Got ourselves a planet-wide stampede on our hands. This facility houses some of the galaxy's most dangerous criminals. Was one of the Republic's best-kept secrets until the Empire caught on.
Our guards found a subspace transmitter in one of the prison wards. Crude, but functional. Must have taken decades to scrap together.
Blasted thing led the Imperials right to us. They snuck in, sprang the prisoners, and blew open the armories in a single strike.
What were your guards doing while all this was going on? Sleeping?
My men are used to corralling inmates and breaking kneecaps. They're not trained to fight off Imperial troopers. The military's already sent a few elite detachments our way. Been about as useful as a tauntaun in a sandstorm.
Last we heard, they'd lost the deep prison. Encountered some unknown species in the maximum security wing. And they're getting pummeled.
Let them sweat. Our priority is securing this level. And that means stamping out a gang of lunatics calling themselves the Condemned. They're all second and third generation prisoners, born and raised right here in the prison. Just as twisted as the scum they're descended from.
Think about that for a second, by the way. People have been prisoners here for so long, they literally have their own... whatever.
Sounds like they got a pretty
Family
raw
line.
deal.
Save your sympathy. They're animals, every last one. Thanks to them, our security fields are down and our access to the armories has been cut off. We're sitting naked here. If we can retake the armories and get those fields back online, we'll be in business. Then we'll... Wait, what's that?
Well, he's dead.
Warden, return fire!
On what? Oh, they're there. So yeah, that's not only messed up because people have been here long enough to have children and have them be born here, which is its own level of screwed up. Those children were kept here, which is a much worse version of screwed up.
Seal off the wing! No one gets in or out without my say-so! Kelsa, how's the warden?
Dead, sir. Clean shot to the head.
He didn't...
I think that makes you the new warden.
I hadn't thought of that.
Quit stalling and give us a game plan.
Sorry, this is just... it's unexpected. The warden was a good man. Securing this station is our first priority. Another ambush like that and we're through. Our security field should keep the prisoners out. Some condemned saboteurs trashed the field generator. The whole network is down.
Leave it to me, sir. A few tools, a little elbow grease, and I'll have that generator back up in no time.
That generator could still be crawling with prisoners. I'd feel a lot better knowing someone was watching her back.
She'll be safe. You have my word.
I'll hold you to that.
Just let me slip into something more blaster-resistant.
The generator isn't far. Just keep those lunatics away from Kelsa. Give them one for the warden.
Well, we lost Giga. Oh no! Crunch! Well, that's... We hardly knew you, Giga. Hey, Caspian. You know what's funny? Belsavis might literally not be as bad as Hoth. Just think about that for a second. And I hate Belsavis. But I should probably mention most of the Belsavis negatives I already gave. Like, prior to now, simply for the fact that the design and layout of the overworld, never mind the quests. So we'll see. I should do the bonus series. Well, I mean, I did do the Hoth bonus series off camera.
I need to find a way into cell block 923A.
I went and told Jiro he was seeing things. Captain wouldn't be here, I said, not after besting Noctran. But here you are. Name's Amakab. If you get nicked, you came to the right bith. I can get you block 923 for a price.
I'm on the guard side this time. What kind of perks are you looking for?
Only one thing anyone's looking for. The way off. Give me that. I'll get you the back door to every half-critic gang hideout in Belsavis. The Scourge is the gang that took block 923. Puffed up sons of huts. They rerouted the cell generators to shield themselves, calls the place their fortress.
What kind of surprises can I expect if we go head-to-head?
The kind of pack of fools who think any open door and some scavenged blasters make them the next Mandalore. You want in without making friends? First you gotta shut down the generators. And there should be men guarding them, but nothing like what you'll be facing once you get inside.
Thanks for the assist.
Let me see your datapad. I'll get you the generator site. It'll give us access to anything with transmission capability. You wonder why. Once you get in, look for the stockpile. The Scourge stash their weapons up front. You reach in before they do, and you're all set. Now keep in mind who helped you. Anything else you need, I'm the man you need to know. I mean, I don't want to sound callous, cold, or horrifically evil, but if you're at the point of sending someone off for life in a place that is like this, like, go ahead and go through the trial and assign them. It's like, yep, nope, here's your life sentence. And send them down and then shoot them.
It's useless. This droid's nothing but a junk heap without replacement parts. You guys should wear a badge or something. For a second, I thought another convict got in. They've been shooting at us all day. There's 100 screaming crazies out there, all my men are hurt, and the warden droids that are supposed to help us don't function.
Don't be such a crybaby.
Easy for you to say, you don't have a mob of blood-crazed prisoners screaming for your head. Not to mention that the Mandalorians attacked and took all our motivator coils, the one thing that would get our droids working. Mandos aren't like other convicts. They're more like a military unit than a gang. Even set up their own headquarters.
What are Mandalorians doing on Belsavis?
They were captured after they wiped out some backwater planet. Real nasty. Real resourceful. They've even scavenged a bunch of old warden droids and turned them into turret defenses. That's why they took the coils. You want to help? Break open those turrets the Mandos built and bring me the motivator coils. With those, these droids will be back online.
I'm not even sure where to start.
The camp's near the remnants of the prison housing. The turrets guard the perimeter. Be careful out there. The Mandos are gonna go ballistic if you start breaking their toys.
Nah, I'm good, J. Palmer. I have the most powerful weapon known to mankind. Pudding. And just giant pudding cannon. Pong, pong. Well, that's good to know. I don't know what to say to that. mean, if I was doing it, I would make there be exactly one Gilfa. It's actually the name of a dude. Well, Kira White Noise is correct. I think it was Kira White Noise is correct. The point of life imprisonment is that it carries the possibility of reducing the sentence, right? Good behavior, cooperation, regime changes, policy changes. All can change. And so the idea and the hope there is, you know, eventually that might get shrunk down. Ironically, this is the exact same reason why here in the United States people tend to do, and by people I mean the system, tends to charge you in terms of numbers of months, and they will overcharge you. That is to say, they will over-sentence you in terms of months by a ridiculous amount. Because they don't actually expect you to be in prison that long. Not really. It's also a way to scare people. Scare people into complacency. We'll put you away for 50, 100, 500 months. It is, my opinion, a very crude method in order to try and enforce a carrot and stick approach. We'll punish you horribly. Okay, now that we've got you, you do this and this and this for us, and you'll start to work off your debt, and we'll lower that number over time. They charge... So, here's a little factoid that most people don't know. You have an account with any jail or prison you go into. You may not put any money into it, but you do have an account with them. When I say an account, I mean a financial account for money. That prison and or jail keeps a hold of that money, and they kind of maintain it as if there's some really crude bank. If you want to make any financial transactions while you're at that prison or jail, all those transactions have to come from your account, period. You can put money into that. Other people can put money into that. But either way, that's where all that money comes from. Now, what does this have to do with being charged? You would probably have... If you don't know, you probably wouldn't believe the types of things you have to pay for, effectively out of pocket, in order to be able to do something like that. Bail is one of those things, but I'm talking things like underwear. They do not provide you underwear. What's the bad news, Tyron?
Let's do this!
I'd go down the whole list, but trust me when I say it's mostly amenities. And junk food. A lot of junk food. They really like to charge people $10 for a bag of chips. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. They overcharge like crazy. It's, pathetic is the word I want to use there. Alright, I think we're done with Belsavis music. You want to hear it one more time? We've already looped it twice. Belsavis music. Sorry, I should stop talking. Every time I talk about United States jails and prisons, I get world conquery. So let's just move on. Let's just move on. Okay. God, I love the... You know, we didn't really run into the map problems of Belsavis. I talked about them, but we didn't really run into them last time because we weren't doing the local quests. We were just doing the class quest. So you don't really run into the how do I get there or the severe bottlenecking and just terrible overworld design that Belsavis has, which I already gave a negative for. 2, actually. So I'm not going to re-ding it. It's just... I'm so happy to be able to show off just how terrible this place is presented. Yeah, prison food is free. The quality of it varies wildly. There are actually some jails where you can eat surprisingly healthy. I'm going to make it. Or go for it, rather, not make it. And they actually take care of you. You actually have some surprisingly decent food intake. It's not particularly good tasting, but it is actually quite healthy. Then there's the other places. You don't want to think about the other places. They charge you for pens, too. Or pencils. And when I say pens, Like, this? Nuh-uh. Imagine something about this long, right here, at the very tip, and it's literally just the point of ink with a little ballpoint pen that's a little bit stiff and doesn't work properly.
I've got a bunch of old power packs back on the ship that need recharging. Knew I should have brought them with me.
Some of them forbid trading. Some of them don't. But that's really important because food is a really valuable resource to trade in there. Anyways, let's see. Did Space Cadet ask a question? Oh, you did ask a question, right. Well, the answer is...
That should do it. Throw the switch and cross your fingers.
We're all here. It looks like that did it. The security fields just went up. Not a moment too soon. Even better, that boost jump-started the station's internal generators. We're rerouting power to them now.
That means the prisoners won't be able to knock out the fields again, right?
For the time being. You did good. And thank you for looking after Kelsa. She's only a junior corrections officer. I'd hate to see anything happen to her. On that note, I just received intel from Republic Command that those condemned lunatics have already responded to our shield restoration. They just hit another armory. This one's unique, though. It's stocked with all kinds of prototype weaponry, including our new Magnetar rifles.
Thank you, Hazardous.
How does this affect the station's security?
Worst case scenario? The station won't have any security. The Magnetar rifles were specifically designed to disrupt energy shields. The technology's experimental, but effective. Our security fields won't last against one of those things. A single shot takes a while to load up, but it could punch right through our defenses.
Why would you even carry that kind of weaponry?
I kept a few on hand after some prisoners got loose and barricaded themselves in their cells. Never thought they might be used against us. I need you to get to that armory and secure those weapons. Those maniacs escape with even one rifle. It's over for us. Try not to kill anyone if you can. There's been enough death already. Bring the rifles back to the station once you've retrieved them. Crawl out.
Here. These stun grenades should take the fight out of them.
I mean, at the very least, this game's designers certainly can't, Crazy Norse. Jeez Louise. I can't decide yet, Evo. Ask me again in a minute. I would say that the Republic operates a little bit more like the United States times 10, basically. Imagine instead of having the 51 states or whatever, and however many territories, and however many protectorates, and all the other crap. Imagine instead we had, what is it, 500 states? That's kind of the Republic in a nutshell.
Don't make me use this lightsaber!
Let's see if this shares. Yeah, Dr. Winter. It does not. But it also doesn't despawn, so that's good. It's really bitter. Which I wasn't expecting. I admit there's just a little bit of disappointment there, because... Anyways. How would I want to rework the Republic in the rewrite? That's a damn good question. I'll be completely honest, I haven't even thought about it. The Republic as is made perfect sense to me. A body that's simply grown too large to really manage itself, so it doesn't. I mean, for God's sakes. We could also pull a Citadel space kind of a thing, right? Make a thing where Republic rules, regulations, enforcement is like a gradient thing. The closer you are to Coruscant, the more the Republic is in charge. The further out you get, the less they enforce things, right? I don't know. Something to think about. Okay, so that was our third loop of the Belsavis song. I think we're done with that. Let's get some real music going. Put this on random. Yep. Die, monsters. I mean, the Outer Rim is so named for a reason. Because there's also the Inner Rim, and the colony worlds, and the corporate sector, and so forth and so on. So yeah, I think having like a gradient concentric thing might actually work a little bit. I mean, they already literally called them the core worlds, for God's sakes. Hold on. Oh, that's a bonus. Don't care. Don't care. I'm sorry, Giga. Mea culpa. Alright, so Evo asks, do prisons exist within the extant? Let's start by answering the easy question. Do drunk tanks exist within the extant? Yes, there's a valid, legitimate, and beneficial reason for a concept such as a drunk tank to exist. It's probably one of the only aspects of jails that I actually formally agree with. By the way, I didn't hear the good news, Tyron. Because that was terrible news, and I really hope you get that repaired as soon as possible. Honestly, no, J. Palmer. I'm not even sure I would consider its presence a positive. We don't really have a lot of precedence on that, and that's such a new technology that there's issues in the way. What are drunk tanks? Drunk, by the way. A drunk tank is, we picked up somebody who was smashed, sloshed, or otherwise, you know, inebriated, past the point of being capable of taking care of themselves. We bring them in, we put them in the drunk tank. The drunk tank is supposed to be a safe place. A place where they are going to be watched by someone who's going to be there overnight. And, you know, we know that they're not going to be able to kill themselves or harm others. That's the drunk tanks. Now, in reality land, a lot of the times that's literally just one of the jail cells. That sucks. But if you know anything about my general approach to health, mental health, care, etc., you can probably picture what a proper drunk tank should actually be like. Okay, so that's that. That's there, and that's the bonus. Okay, back we go. I'm just gonna parth. Now, past that, we have... So the concept of holding... Yeah, I was thinking a foam room. Probably something that can be cleaned or replaced relatively easy, because vomit might be a thing. And again, actually have... I didn't even see a 10-headed, I'm sorry. I'm really distracted. Have someone who's, you know, a freaking medical professional on hand to be able to take care of them and deal with that should something need to be dealt with? What is this telling me to do here? Whatever. I accept.
I've got your motivator coils. Are your droids ready?
They're as ready as they can be. I should just be able to drop in the coils and they'll be running. We're not out of the woods, but at least with the droids to help out, we've got a fighting chance. Glad you made it back.
I said I'd bring you the motivator coils. I keep my promises.
It was a huge deal for my men. Maybe we'll even survive this riot.
Can I come back to that question, Eva? In fact, you put that in the queue, so I can address other questions. Because you asked me a long question. And we'll have plenty of time to do that as we're roaming Belsavis being bored to tears.
Be sure you won't die.
So, let's see here. Dr. Winter asked an interesting question earlier. if the previous quests weren't Revan, but some other brand new Sith Lord, how would it be? I do think that would be better, but I think it would be a situation where it would still get a negative, you know? Just, not cool.
Welcome back. Glad to see you made it, and with all the rifles, no less. With the shield generator online and the Magnetar rifles back in our hands, we'll be safe for a while. Thank you.
It's so hard to be humble, knowing how great I am.
Wish I had 50 more like you. Good news. We finally have a lead on the Condemned's ringleader. Found this holo recording on one of Plate's assassins. Take a look.
Brothers, sisters, I am Nironos. Like you, I was born into captivity, shackled by the crimes of my ancestors. Our forefathers rot in the bowels of this prison, their debt to the Republic repaid in full. Yet, here we remain, guiltless. We must stand united against this injustice. Together we will tear down these walls and seize our freedom.
It goes on from there, but you get the idea. This guy is bad news. He's cunning, ruthless, and worst of all, charismatic.
Sounds like he has every reason to be upset.
Don't buy into the whole hero of the people routine. He's injected just enough truth into his rants to rally his followers. Nironos is dangerous, but he's just a puppet. The Empire's been using him to provoke the inmates. Fortunately, they slipped up.
That's right. I isolated several audio cues from the recording and got a fix on its origin. Could be their headquarters.
This is the break we've been waiting for. Now that we know where they're hiding, we can finally take the fight to them.
Why are Imperials fraternizing with convicts?
The Empire's been egging them on in hopes of escalating the riots. They get more than they bargained for. Nironos and his Imperial cohorts are the brains behind the Condemned. We take them out, we end this riot. Get to their hideout. If Nironos is there, eliminate him. Otherwise, find out what they're up to. Any insight could go a long way.
Got it. Don't even need to write it down.
Hang on to those stun grenades Kelsa gave you. Kill the Imperials if you like, but again, I'd prefer the prisoners were subdued non-lethally.
Why?
Contact me when you've cleared out of the base. I'll be waiting for your report.
And I'm kind of with Cubic on this. What the hell is the point of this place? Well, I am sorry that your car is giving you issues, Tyron. I hope it gets fixed soonish. To waste money. Yep. That is the truth. No, kick it! Dr. Witcher says, will I be keeping Force Ghosts? Depends on how the Force works. So, undetermined. Is it true Naboo isn't actually monarchy, but that their queen is just what they call their head of state? Yes. And I'm groaning at that because it's yet another example of a plot point that didn't need to exist, but only came about because of bad storytelling.
Hawkins, take Rawat and check the North Tower. If the prisoners have it, let me know and I'll send reinforcements. Hope you're a quick shot with that blaster. The prisoners are killing everyone out there. Worse, I've got civilians hiding in the prisoner intake yard. If the convicts find them, it'll be a massacre.
This is a prison. Where did civilians come from?
Many of the guards bring their families with them. It's good for morale, but now they're in danger.
Oh, that's gotta suck. Hey, honey, we're moving to Belsavis.
An armored transport. Problem is, there's an army of bloodthirsty convicts between the transport and the guards' families.
I'll clear the prisoners out of the area.
I knew I could count on you. Just be careful. They aren't showing anyone mercy. I need you to clear a path for the transport so it can get to those civvies. The prisoners are going to throw everything they've got at you. Honestly, I wouldn't send a womp rat on this suicide run, but I'm out of options. Can you do it?
I like my odds more than the womp rats. I'll take care of this.
Thanks. With you on the job, I can concentrate on bringing other areas under control. You'll need to clear a path from there to the prisoner intake yard. That should buy enough time to get the civilians.
Dude, I don't know, Trihexia. None of this crap makes any friggin' sense. Sorry, I'm just... Probably, Trihexia. How legitimate do I believe Galen Merrick's victory over Vader and Sidious was? Not at all. In fact, that's...
We're gonna rip the transport apart. Clear a path to the intake yard. I'll follow you.
So easy to declare non-canon that I did it without even thinking about it. It's like... It's done. I don't even have to snap my fingers. It's just not canon. It's funny. What? Nope, it's still not canon. Has it been brought up how many prisoners are here because they committed crimes versus how many were forced to remain here because they were born to parents? It's been mentioned, yes. You also have to remember there are political prisoners here. We've actually already covered that in the Trooper story arc. Yeah, the real problem with Belsavis is the other stuff that's here.
Thanks a lot. That'll make my job easier. You should go now.
Hey, Dean Badine. Thank you very, very, very much. Ever and always appreciate. And, jot that down, Foy the Messenger, if you give me one moment here. Yeah, that quest was great, wasn't it? Have you noticed, by the way, the quality of the side quests has already started to go down? I've actually already talked about this, but the quality of everything is just going to drop off the further into... the closer we get to Corellia, basically. When we get to Corellia, we will effectively be at the worst content in the game in terms of gameplay. So you have something to look forward to. Boss has some decent story. I'll give you that. I'm not sure on the gameplay front. We'll have to talk about that. That's I was gonna say. I imagine that's also for the messenger. Do I need... I do. We. Oh wait, I'm not playing a bounty hunter. Right. Thank you again, Dean. As always. And those will also go towards the messenger. I think we can all agree that "wee" is the best line. Oops. Yeah, see, the problem is, this planet sucks. In gameplay, obviously. But what really, and I mean really sucks about this place, is the stuff that isn't related to the prison. Which, again, I'm not talking about yet, because we're not there yet. We're still in with the prison crap. That'll be like Act 3 of this place. My Jedi powers will make sure that you live! Wait. This prison is sanctioned and operated by the Republic, yes. They moved in, took it over, and said, yep, we're going to use this as our prison planet now. Any questions? Nah, that sounds crazy to me, Crazy Horse. I would much rather waste literally millions, if not billions of credits keeping the fleet, well, the ships, and the space station, and the troops, and the weapons, and the equipment, all up to date in order to make this place operational, while also dealing with losses of both people and morale, not only to the wildlife, but to, you know, just random prison outbreaks. This all sounds perfectly acceptable to me. Oh my god. So, prison within the Empire. Obviously, there are prisons within the Extant. Duh. Mr. Ritt's writing a story about one of them. If the Empire agrees with me, because that's how that works, about the purpose of rehabilitation, emphasis on the word, there's... how do I phrase this? There are downsides to focusing your justice system on rehabilitation over punishment, and there are. You're going to have people who will deliberately commit crimes just to try and get incarcerated. Some people will do that instead of trying to actually get a job or, you know, find some kind of purpose in life or whatever. Although, if I might be so bold, people already do that in the criminal vengeance system here in the States, so just point that out. Anyways, but I think it's better, I think it's worthwhile to... I think the benefits outweigh the cost, let me put it that way. Simple equation. Cost-benefit. So to me, yes, prisons exist within the Empire, but they're not whatever you're thinking. Giga, no!
Saw that the door was opened. Your man Ivory, is he there? You reach him in time?
Unless he's got a way to turn invisible, this place is empty.
Son of a Hutt! I've got alerts in every ward. There's a new breakout, supermax cells across the planet. Places that weren't touched by the strike. Turns out everyone was part of Ivory's syndicate. He's gathering his people, Captain. And the worst part is, they're not going for the surface. They're heading further in, to the heart of Belsavis.
Let me hear you say it. I'm sorry, Captain. I should have been nicer to you.
Some things I don't do, even for the Republic. Look, I know there's secrets down in those vaults way above my clearance. Secrets important enough for the Republic to spend billions to hide, and dangerous enough that they keep us marshals up here and send Spec Force to the vaults. And Ivory is the last man who should get his hands on whatever they're protecting.
Ask me nicely. Pretty pleased with sugar on top.
If it works, because I need you, Captain. I've got no one else. Search Ivory's cell for any clues where he might have gone, and call me if you find anything.
Well, they do that here, Crazy Norse. And jail is a lot less pleasant here, I'll tell you what. They can, Evo, yes. See you around, Nemesis. Enjoy the cleansing. Yeah, I actually like how many women don't fall for our flirting. It's part of why I keep doing it. The other part, of course, because I said I would do it. And the final part is because it's funny, every now and again. I thought I'd keep the mask on for Belsavis, just to, you know, emphasize the point.
Why can't things be easy just once?
There's another one.
Hang tight, I'm trying to get a fix on your location. I'm just gonna zoom in. how smooth that stone is. That's not new work. Ivory could have been loose in the wards for years.
You're impressed. I can hear it. You got a thing for bad boys.
Too bad you're one of the good guys now. I do have good news. We've still got one of Ivory's collaborators in custody. Number 91406, female Ratataki. Name, Shraja. She's part of a classified prisoner rehabilitation program not far from here. I suggest you find out what she knows before Ivory makes her disappear. Call me.
Apparently, I can't today. That's okay, I'll always console myself with Risha. I actually agree with that, Blade Taval, but as weird as that may sound, I kind of agree with that more on a economic standpoint than a social standpoint. Or a philosophical one. Then I agree with it as a philosophical standpoint. Then there's morality. I try not to argue morality. I don't know if you've ever noticed this. I've done this for years. Because nobody responds to morality arguments. Nobody cares. You know. Oh my god, that child's gonna run into traffic. Save them! Why? Because there's a kid going into traffic, you frickin' moron! But nobody responds to that well, so you just gotta smack him. Yeah, Rick James! Yeah, looks like it's not a thing. That child is a planet. Listen, Tara. I just want to walk up to these people. Smack them! Ah! Blaster bolts. Well, that's a couple of these. Hang on. You get a death. You get a death! Nothing outlasts the Energizer death. It just keeps deathing and deathing. Hey, Larry. I don't actually remember Triaxia, other than the Raid series, obviously. It's the only way, Hazardous. We must purge the unclean. Remove the heretic. And, you know, just generally kill everybody. Would I want a tier 3 insert into Resident Evil? First of all, no. God, no. Ah. Oh, God, that's terrible. No, Sacktaft. Oh, God, no. Because there's only two options there, right? Either you're a normal human being in Resident Evil, which is horrific, or you're one of the, what do they call them? The super weapons. You know, you've got the glunk, and you turn into a... And it's just, no! God, no, that's terrible. Ugh. Okay, I'm okay. What's going on? What's happening? I'm being told I need to go down over there. Listen! Listen. I definitely can make it from this side. That was it, BOW. So you can either be a BOW or a normal person, which also means you're probably going to be a zombie. So that's just horrific. On every level, honestly. Yeah, there's a mountain in the way. Of course there's a mountain in the way. God, I hate this planet! You know what, just for that, just out of pure, violent, vindictive spite. Where's the thing? There it is. That's true, you can't even safely commit suicide. That's just... Oh, God. God damn this planet. Ugh. I summon ye from across the planet.
It's been a while since we saw any new friendlies out here. Good to have you here. I'm Colonel Howard. Word, if I may.
Yes, do come in. Senator Tudos, chairman of the Penal Oversight Committee. A pleasure. Surviving a planet-wide riot is no easy thing. No doubt you trekked through fire and blood to get here.
Senator, focus.
Right. Things have spiraled out of control here. Thousands of prisoners on the loose. Segregation thrown out the door. A veritable frenzy of interspecies violence.
Segregation?
Let them go at each other's throats. It's
No,
our job.
hold on. What's segregation?
My mind. But as their duly appointed representative...
What's segregation?
...to stamp out this anarchy. Our biggest concern is a tribe of Ratataki called the Blood of Talith. Bunch of raving fanatics bent on slaughtering every other species. They are ambitious, crafty. Recently took to ambushing warden droids and stripping away their power cores.
Intel suggests they're compiling the stolen power cores into one massive bomb. Probably mean to blast their way out of here.
With any luck, those loonies will cross a wire and blow themselves up.
Unlikely. They're crazy, not stupid. If the Ratataki break free, they'll kill anyone they find. Guards, prisoners.
Not to mention senators. You've got to disable that bomb and contain this madness.
Sure. Can't let the aliens interact with the real people, after all.
Alright, just give me the details.
It'd probably be best to keep the Ratataki from acquiring any more power cores. If you can retrieve some of the power cores they stole, we should be able to modify the warden droids to prevent future tampering.
Dismantling that bomb comes first, though. There should be a security terminal somewhere in the area. Report in when you've defused the bomb.
By the way, Jay Palmer asked a good question. Which prison is worse, this or the one in Mass Effect 2? So, this prison's worse if you consider the Dread Masters. However, if you discount the Dread Masters, this prison's worse because of the, jackasses, Ricotta. There we go. However, if you discount the Ricotta, then I would say the Mass Effect 2 prison's worse. For-profit asshole. That's back up. It's, God damn it. Secretly, this is New Folsom. And no kidding, Latario. I knew if I was patient, the Force would help. Your team is more than I hoped for. I came to Belsavis to aid the Republic, but I fear my strengths lie in the Jedi Archives, not on the battlefield. The Sith are stealing destructive ancient devices from the alien vaults. You must stop these fools from leaving the planet with them.
Why aren't you handling it yourself?
A Jedi must admit his limits. I'm not a young man. You're young and strong. You'll succeed where I can't. Teams of Sith are looting a nearby vault. I need to drive them back and the covered devices they've taken, but that's not all. But wait! There's more. I also need to disable the enemy starship so it cannot leave Belsavis. This charge will destroy the enemy vessel's engines.
Got it. Don't even need to write it down.
If the Sith vessel tries to leave, the turret here is our last hope. I'll fire if I must, though artillery is not my speciality. Besides, last thing we want is ancient deadly technology scattered across the valley. Bring anything you find to me. We may need to know what our enemy is toyed with. May the Force be with you. Always. Whee! Whee! Any questions? That looks like I can reach it. Yay. What was I talking about? What places in real life would I not want to tier 0 into? Anywhere too hot? Anywhere too bug? Anywhere too humid? Anywhere too cold. So that's like 90% of the planet right there. Anywhere too Texas. And Detroit. I think that covers it. And that's it. Whatever.
Walls!
Okay, hold on. I will wait for Giga. The aesthetic of Belsavis? Actually, I don't. The ice cavern walls feel weird and not really well designed. Like, look at that. That's an extremely basic mesh and texture. And then we've got the rest of it, which is trees, but if you look at the trees, they're really basic. Like, wow, vanilla basic. And then we've got the grass, which is okay. I'll give you the grass. And then we've got the walls all over the place. So, no, I hate this place. I'd come back to Southern California if they could somehow power their energy grids. And yes, I have been following that story. Or rather, those stories, because I have family still living down there. I mean, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but it actually feels like this was rushed. It felt like they had an idea, but any artist will tell you, making a cohesive visual style, especially a mix and mash, which is what it's supposed to be, takes time. It takes polish. This feels like the first thing they would lay out, right? Okay, so chkunk, 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 and then what you want to do is you want to go through it again, like a second time. And kind of like, okay, so, you know, just polish this out a little bit, add a little bit of this here, move this out, adjust this a bit this way, and so forth and so on, right? Then maybe you want to keep even doing another polishing pass after that, and so forth and so on. This really feels like they went through, smacked down the resources, and just said, done. Oh, there's Giga. Hi, Giga. Join me, Giga. Oh, I guess I have to actually go talk to her.
Walls cannot hold me. I will join him. He calls me.
Hi.
Do you come to cut these chains?
Yeah, I'm his. That's right. Where are we supposed to go again?
The cells. Are they empty? Is the team complete? He said after there is a door, an escape. I'll stay away. To the stars.
This is a restricted area. Step away from the prisoner.
Marshal Kavarat sent me to interrogate her.
You are right. Positive ID on the captain. Experiment Chamber 21. I'll hold him.
Is there some reason the Republic would be hunting you, Captain?
Nope. Thank you, officer. You think Rogan would let you interfere again? Oh my god, this is just getting sad.
Join the party. You're just in time for cake.
That's Dust, Rogan's best assassin. They say he's been killed a dozen times and always comes back.
Rogan has counted the years until he meets again with Ivory. It is his reward for all he's done. He will not let you stop him. For God's sakes. In a fire. At least 4, J. Palmer.
Shiraja wouldn't talk, but I've got a list of what looks like cell blocks and numbers from one of Rogan's allies.
Send me a transmission. I'll run a cross-check on the locations. Did you find anything else?
One of your uniformed officers is working with Ivory.
Was.
What? Give me his name and badge number. Never mind. He's dead, isn't he? Since the breakout, I've suspected there's a few bad eggs. I'll look into it.
Cozying up to corrupt Republic officials is kind of Rogan's signature. That and butchering people.
All right, I'm getting the results. Looks like your list is just the cells Ivory's collaborators already cracked. Wait, no. There's one that's still unbreached. Maximum Security Ward Cell Block 2018.
I love a girl who knows her way around a prison.
I can see how that'd be handy for someone like you. I'd get over there fast. You don't want Ivory getting his hands on this guy. Gendai, Force user, spice addict. Records say he killed Jedi during his arrest. See if you can get to him before Ivory does. Find out how he ties into the plan. And call me when you're done.
Oh, absolutely, Maze. I think I've said this a few times. By the way, I love your lightsaber color, Tyrant. That's a good one. I've said this a few times. Speaking as someone who was a MMO veteran by the time Tor was even being worked on, it was really obvious that BioWare had absolutely no idea how to run, make, or anything an MMO. They did not know what they were doing. I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that as a statement of fact. They made all the noob decisions that every other MMO company out there has made. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure they were struggling with how to make this game, and they probably ran into the same problem an enormous quantity of designers make, including them. They wanted their game to be of X length, and so by the time they started running out of time and money and patience, remember this game took forever to make, they just kind of started throwing things together. I firmly believe that's one of the reasons why the bonus series is so terrible, and why the latter planets tend to be awful.
Let's do this!
Let's see here. So Evo asks, an accused person has no danger to society, regrets what they did, what does the judge decide to do? So, Evo, are you there, Evo? Evo, no! And she's gone. She's stealing all my rose tea. Why? I just got that tea. Hi, Nironos. Welcome back. So let me ask you this, Evo. What is the judge's determination for what they do? What's the penalty? I didn't look up the timeline, but I thought this was one of the longest in development time MMOs ever. Even today. I could be wrong. Started out in 2005. Announced in 2008. Came out in 2011. 6 years. Yeah, no. Also very expensive, although a lot of that was due to not only licensing, but the voice acting. So that makes sense. So you're missing my point, Evo, so I will try once again and fail miserably at explaining my point. I don't know the specific circumstances, Evo. You just gave me, like, bullet points of barely no information. A judge, by definition, cannot give a generic ruling. They have to give a specific ruling. That's what a judge is. If you asked a cop to give a ruling based on someone, based on your information, I can answer that. But a judge is not limited in that kind of information gathering. A judge can see why they did, what they did, how they did it, who was harmed by it, in what way, will they receive rehabilitation, what kind of consequences, what punishments will serve for them, etc. They have access to information. And since you're asking me the question, that means you have access to that information. So you're the judge, Evo. So, what's the penalty? I mean, I'd be fine in a lot of places if I had an Iron Man suit, including in real life. I knew you wouldn't fail. You have the strength of the young. Now let's look at what you found. Seems to be a targeting device. Part of a larger weapon. Thank the stars you kept this away from the Sith. From what I'm seeing on the comm channels, you're needed elsewhere. Go! May the Force be with you. May the dark side be with you. Give in to the unlimited hatred. With each passing moment, you make yourself more my servant. It is inevitable. It is your destiny, Evo. I mean, look, just join me, Evo, okay? Look, I'm not good at these speeches, alright? Will you just join the dark side? Come on, please. Is this down? This is down. The angriest person to Star Wars?
Pretty
Dark
sure
Scion.
you won't die.
I did, of course, Lataria, but I will try to repeat myself. I can remember what your question was, unless it was the Tier 0 one. Well, you're the one with the information, Evo. I'm not joking. The only answer I could give you is what a person would judge in that situation, not what a judge could. I do actually have cookies. And rose tea. That's weird. Yeah, Maul was pretty strong. Or pretty angry, excuse me. Oh, that okay.
Senator, we've disarmed the bomb. The Ratataki aren't going anywhere.
Excellent. A crisis contained is a crisis controlled. I'll inform Colonel Howard at once.
Gino Hagwa, Buntagu.
Thank God. Is it safe?
Subala Unikupa. Domtitak.
I think anyone could stand against the blood of Talith, my thanks.
Someone else there?
You're the one behind all this. You and your blasted war games.
Is there something you haven't told me?
Go on, tell them. Show them the blood on your hands.
That's enough. I am a member of the Republic's Senate. I don't answer to the likes of you.
And who do you represent?
Howard and I were overseeing a military exercise of sorts. Project Noble Focus. We tested prisoners of varying species against one another and analyzed the results. All entirely...
So there's that segregation. They promised us freedom if we participated, but never ended. All we got was more killing and more bloodshed.
What was the point of all these experiments?
We wanted to see how the different species fared under duress. Some performed quite well, others not so.
The Ratataki were the first to escape, led by that animal Sulkaz. They prepared, waiting for the Imperials to free the rest of us. We were out of our cells, but we couldn't leave the wing, and the Ratataki knew it. They've been massacring us ever since.
The Ratataki are a dangerous bunch. You're lucky to be alive.
I got my luck will hold if I stay here. Senator's war games have consumed the Ratataki completely. They won't stop until they've killed everyone. They'll tear me to pieces if I stay, but there is no escape. Sulkas has followers not just in the cell block, but everywhere. Help me.
Don't waste your time with filth like him. He made his bed, now he can lie in it.
That's true. You did make your bed, and now you can lie in it.
You'll be safe in the minimum security wing. I can tell you how to get there.
Fappa. Expect to find any decency in this place. Thank you.
If you're done fraternizing with prisoners, we can use you back at the base. There are new developments. Colonel Howard can fill you in when you get here. We'll talk more then.
Yeah, but I'm not into guys, Warp Core. Sorry. Whoop, hello. Hi, Alex. That's a good question, Lord Harrimont. Both judges would have access to the same information, but that doesn't mean they're going to give out the same judgments, no. Let me phrase this differently. If Judge A says, "What punishment should I dole out here?" and Judge B asks the same question, "What punishment should I dole out?" both judges will come to the same conclusion. But that's very rarely what judges actually do, since, you know, that would kind of diminish the point of being a judge. Way. Oh my gosh. Get me out of here. No, no, no! Where's my sprint button? Yeah, I know. Can't sprint in combat. We don't want players to avoid encounters. We want to make sure that they're as irritated and time-wasting as possible. Because this senator, he's the one who actually runs BioWare. It makes so much sense if you think about it. Now, if you pay me an extra, I don't know, 15 credits a minute, I'll give you a little bit of an extra speed. It's 1% speed increase. Now, if you pay me more, well, that speed increase might go up from there. There you can really go fast. But you're gonna have to pay. Oh, Jesus. Is there actually a mission announcement, or are they just gonna announce it? Core. Oh, God damn it, Flygand. No! Hey, everyone, I've just got a new job at EA.
Madoon, come in. Is anyone there? Blast! By now, the Ratataki prisoners control more guard towers than we do. They certainly control the jungle.
Your people are armed and trained. Our prisoners gaining the upper hand.
The Ratataki are fearsome hunters, and twice as deadly now that they're free. The worst are called the Blood of Talith.
The Colonel?
They've turned the jungle into a slaughterhouse.
That is the Colonel.
Everywhere. They're communicating somehow. They spring, fall back, and regroup with military precision, but they don't have comms or computers.
Also Alderis. Yes, Gary. Might be a little late, though.
We need to figure out how they're operating.
I was thinking the same thing. Let me introduce you to someone. 51, come over here.
Greetings. I am C5D1. Officer Serek believes I can uncover how the Ratataki communicate.
Protocol droid, built to translate new languages, right? Give him enough time in the jungle, he'll hear whatever we're missing. Problem is, the Ratataki are going to be suspicious of random droids. He won't last 30 seconds unescorted. Any chance you could help?
Okay.
Will it take long to break their communications code?
Not sure. 51 will let you know when he's got all the data he needs. When he's done, get him back here safely.
I'll also need to listen from several points within the jungle to rule out ambient sounds. I apologize for the trouble.
Don't get in too deep. We've lost enough people already.
But yes, that's Paul Edding, or Eiding, or Aiding. I don't actually know how to pronounce it. Paul, my man. $900 credits an hour. Yep, that sounds about right.
I'll begin my analysis from this point. I'll follow you through the jungle. Just lead the way.
Come on, you Slowby. Wrong Emperor, Icket. Lol, but wrong Emperor. Do you remember Jowry, Evo, from Dragon Age Origins?
Fear me! I'm a Jedi!
Yeah, Paul Eiding. What the hell is his goddamn name? I said the Colonel. Nobody listened to me. If you don't remember, then don't worry about it. I was trying to think of something you would know off the top of your head. He's the blood mage from the mage origin. Nope. More north. Or did I say Jowry? Sorry. Wrong terrible character. Jowan. In his case, He would probably be tapped to assist in the situation, which is how that went. Not to the point of his death, though. He would probably be stripped of his blood magic capacity. Just...
I have gathered
and after that...
we can return to Officer Saren now.
I gotcha!
Not regular magic. I would say at least some mandatory counseling. Jowan has some issues. Granted, those issues aren't really his fault, as is true for every mage in Dragon Age Origins, but he does have issues and those need to be worked through, right? So, mandatory counseling, probably some community service, especially as a mage, since he is actually capable and skilled with healing magic, so... that's probably where we'd go with that one. There you go. I think that's an answer that fits your situation reasonably well. So, that's a good question, Crazy Norse. I like to think no, personally. The Jedi Council certainly like to think that they can remove the Force from somebody. But as we talked about during KOTOR 2, they probably don't have the ability to do that. They think they do, but we did that, not them. Askrod.
I've studied the jungle noise and found a number of non-indigenous bird calls that increase before an attack.
The Ratataki are imitating bird calls?
My programming enables me to replicate these calls. I can teach the remaining guards to recognize them.
Get right on that, 51. Thanks for protecting them out there. With this info, we can finally avoid their attacks.
It'll be nice to see the Ratataki on the defensive.
I'll say. Thanks for everything. We couldn't have cracked their codes without your help.
Now, Zaktaff asks a funny question. Where do I think Wesker would be on the Avengers difficulties scale? Pretty low, but probably still as high as Loki if he was able to get his plan across. I mean, you know, total global saturation. And all that. Now, Ventures asks a really interesting question, which I'm going to open up to the group. If it still wants me to do the frickin' bonus quest. Where is this guy? He's up, isn't he?
I heal you with Jedi power.
That's not... Ahem. Do you think Star Wars could still be a good story if Anakin never fell to the dark side?
Senator Tudos told me you defused the bomb. Not a moment too soon.
The Ratataki still have the run of the wing, but at least we've contained them. For now.
So about your experiments, you little Coliseum... What planet do you represent?
We need to talk about Project Noble Focus.
There'll be time enough for that once the Ratataki have been dealt with. Focus on the crisis at hand for now.
Our satellites have picked up a large number of Ratataki in the Nemoidian compound. Up to their usual antics.
Here I was, hoping it was just a social call.
The satellite images we've seen are pretty grisly. Far as we can tell, they're butchering the Nemoidians.
We've got to get down there and put a stop to it.
I'm not so concerned about saving Nemoidians as I am putting down the Ratataki. We've confirmed that Sulkaz, the Blood of Talith's ringleader, is personally overseeing this latest massacre.
He's everything you could want in a fanatical leader. Loud, ruthless, and utterly demented.
Why are you describing yourself?
Eliminating Sulkaz will take the fight out of the Ratataki. Show them who's in charge. You've got to get down there and stop him.
When I get back, we're gonna have a little chat about this project of yours.
Fine, just get it done.
Expect a bloody fight. Sulkaz rarely does anything without someone dying.
Make sure it's not you.
So, here's my answer, which is the very obvious answer. Of course Star Wars could be a good story without Vader. That's about what it is. Now, would it be a different story? Yeah. I mean, good lord, that's such a sea change. We'd have to really sit and think about how fundamentally altered the galaxy would be without Vader in it. Because that's a big change. Do I look unhinged to you? Not like I'm the first commander sees men butchered by some drooling lunatics. Can't blame me crazies for acting crazy. As for those motherless Imperials who freed them, of course I want to blow them up. They're the enemy.
I'm sorry to hear about your men.
Fine soldiers, every one of them. You could have made general someday. Just isn't right. What I'm proposing is a simple, effective, and completely impersonal. See, the Empire's commandeering a nearby power station, and I want to bury them with it. Got enough detonite here to reduce the main generator to stain. Just need someone mentally sound to set the charges.
Looks like I don't have any choice but to play along.
It's a perfectly legitimate op, I promise. We'll have to blast through the station's outer walls and destroy the security consoles before you can access the main generator. From there, it's just a matter of rigging the generator, getting clear, and enjoying the show. Good luck to you. Remind me which one Allegiance was, Tyron. Actually, I love the idea that Mace Windu would have fallen instead of Vader. It's one of those knee-jerk actions. I'm not even sure it's even a good one, but it's the first thing my mind went to. Anyways. Windu did fall out of the window. But, anyways. But yeah, no, I absolutely think you could take Vader out and still make Star Wars good. That's easy to answer, after all. There's a lot of Star Wars that's good that has nothing to do with Vader. I'm probably about to be dismounted. Huh, I was dismounted. I've used the Force to see the future. Now to kill everyone. Or get dismounted again. Nope. No! I was out of line of sight, you little snot. I'm dead. Oh well. I love how it always takes the game a few seconds to acknowledge that you died. That's always been true. Since launch, that's always been a thing. I did not know that, Jay Palmer. It's okay, I'm gonna get up. Of course, now you got me thinking. I mean, at that point, that's not a Star Wars rewrite so much as a Star Wars Elseworlds. But I do think you could do a good story in which Vader never existed. Although, if we're being honest, at that point, we'd have to rewrite Anakin a bit. He was a little bit too designed to fall to the dark side, if we're being honest with ourselves, in most versions of continuity. Hi, Larry. Hi, Giga. Womp. Aha! I knew it, Evo. So now you have a specific situation. So now you can, of course, answer your own question. I'm going to AFK very quickly. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I believe it is, Ross. It's one of my oldest ones. And then Mod Tracker. Okay, now I know the one you're talking about. See, the problem is, I feel like there's so many options for a Sith Trooper story that you're kind of spoiled for choice with what direction you'd want to take that in. Let's see, then I need all the deets, Evo. As the first Imperial Judge, I will do my best to service you, but I need deets! There's another interesting question. So let's just assume there's a Sith Trooper story now. Congrats. It replaces the Bounty Hunter one or something. I don't know. Just go with it. Just go with it. Which of the dozens of story options do you want to take that in? Like for an overarching plot, or at least an Act 1 plot, or whatever. Blizz is now your loyal Jawa as the Sith Trooper. But he's only available to light side. Because we don't want players to be mean to Blizz. We don't want to let them to do that. That's a bonus. I don't care about bonuses. No! Damn it. I like that idea, Lord Haramont. So I know you're probably not watching chat, Tyrant, so I'll say it out loud. Lord Haramont says, as Sith Trooper, you're the janitor running after the Inquisitor and the Warrior cleaning up their messes. That's pretty similar to Agent, but a little bit more direct and a little bit less personal. And we have some added continuity on top of it, so that's nice. God, I don't remember. Oh. Nope. Yeah. We're cleaning up after the night. Yeah.
Oh, that stench. Almost as bad as the Nemoidians. And your faces, repulsive. I will cut them off.
I'm shaking in my boots. Promise.
You laugh now. You will scream later. Your bodies will be lumped with the rest of the Nemoidian filth. Your heads I keep. And the lizards, they shall eat well tonight.
Sounds like the beginning of a song. Can you feel the lizards tonight? And all their stupidity. So anyways, he's dead. I'm just gonna warp out of this stupid place. Screw this place. See you around, Evo. None of them are stupid questions. I appreciate your questions. Don't make me newspaper you, I'll do it. You know what else you can do with Sith Trooper? IA.
It's done. So Kaz fell in battle.
There, you see, Grawl? Problem solved.
You created that murdering slime, Senator. As far as I'm concerned, you're the problem.
You haven't met the Deputy Warden, have you? Good man. Doesn't approve our little project, though.
Your little project jeopardized the entire prison and violated countless ethics laws. You should be put away.
I thought the project was classified. How'd you find out about it?
A few prisoners escaped and found their way here. We're scared half to death, rambling on about secret experiments and war games.
Spare me the show. The Republic has poured countless resources into containing these degenerates. It's high time we got something in return.
And we have. Project Noble Focus has given us a world of insight into the different species' strengths and limitations. Just think. Entire campaigns planned with each species' capabilities in mind, our wartime efficiency will skyrocket.
You're evil.
That doesn't give you the right to experiment on prisoners.
What's right and what's necessary are rarely one and the same.
Whatever your feelings, this project, and our involvement in it, needs to remain classified.
Think of the backlash if this gets out. Every planet in the Republic will be up in arms. Entire systems could secede over this. Surely a few dead convicts aren't worth all that.
That's a good point. Maybe you should have thought of that before you did it.
Don't use the Republic to cover up your part in this. You broke the law.
That's right. It might get ugly, but the Republic needs to hear about this. I expect to see you back here real soon, Senator.
We'll see.
We
That
shall
settles that.
see.
Now to bigger concerns. We've got trouble in the maximum security wing. General Skyless says some unidentified species is tearing through his men. Deep prison is where the true horrors of Belsavis lie. If Skyless can't stop them, all this will have been for nothing. Help him.
Probably Crazy Norse. And yeah, that's exactly as unpleasant as that sounds. Whoop! Yeah, that guy needs to get a smack and a smack and a smack. Just, idiot. And evil. And probably extremely xenophobic. And or speciest? We'll go with speciest. But it's okay, because now we know how to deal with those alien slime. Yes, yes. With this newfound information, we will be able to kill people much more efficiently. And then we'll start rounding them up and putting them in areas specially for them. Over there, away from all the lands that are designated for the civilized people. Oh god, I'm making myself sick just saying. I'm gonna stop. Is that cool? We're cool? We're cool. Good lord. That guy. Oh my god. Yeah, I love that, by the way. It's funny, because I myself complained about how expensive maintaining this prison is, but I don't think experimenting on the prisoners was really the solution I had in mind. Yes, the true toxicity is not using the free labor that's presenting itself here. Think of all the completely tax writ-off interactions we could have. That was a piece of snow hovering in the air. Check it out right there. See it? It's right there. Just hovering in the air. Anyways, think about it. We don't need to worry about them having representatives or voting rights. They're just prisoners. We can do whatever we want with them. I went the wrong way. And this isn't climbable, so I gotta go all the way back around. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, yes, Chauncey. The chocolate icing, please. Very well. Sorry. Very well. I will stop. Giga pudding. Instead, I will talk about how... I don't know. What's a good topic? Let's talk about the sequel trilogy. Now, normally I'd mute myself, but I actually can't mute myself while playing Tor, which really irritates me. So now I'm going to get dismounted and probably killed. But on the plus side, I might have gotten them out of the way for Giga to get in here. Yep. We're just going to keep going. Yeah, actually, it's funny. For a bot literally called Hedonism Bot, he's actually pretty legit. I don't know if they did that on purpose or it just kind of ended up that way. Listen, I've had a lot of practice, Crazy Horse. Like, every day I pretend to be a horrifically evil monster as my day job. Then I come home at night, relax, put on my human face, and then I stream for a while. So that needs to go there. What am I doing here? What do I want? I just need to kill people? Nope, I need to plant the charges. Why do you think it's taking so long for Elder Scrolls 6 to come out? Because they haven't even started making it yet? Like, I thought that was common knowledge at this point. I mean, this is my real face, obviously. I enjoy, apple cake and baseball, like any normal human. Is that it? Looks like that's it. So that's there. Is that it? God, I hate these quests sometimes. So that turns in there. That turns in there. That turns in I don't know where. Where is that? Oh yes, the bowl of bases, one of my favorite American pastimes. I'd like to talk to you about what makes this country so great. Baseball.
Fear me! I'm a Jedi!
But yeah, no. The way game development tends to work is you have various phases of pre-production, then you enter actual production, then you enter post-production, then the game ships, right? That's the general... It's true for a lot of things, but it's especially true for game development. Now, the thing is, when I say there's multiple layers of pre-production, I mean it. Literally just... Like, imagine if I'm making a video game with Mr. Red, and we're just sitting there having lunch, just hanging out. And Mr. Red's like, you know what we could do for our next game? And I'm like, what's that? And Mr. Red's like, let's make a first-person shooter that's actually an RPG. And I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. But, like, what kind of story do we do? And Mr. Red's like, well, I like sexy orcs. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird, but I guess, you know, we could center it around sexy orcs. Sure, why not? Maybe we should have some demons in there. Yeah! Now, I know this sounds like I'm joking, but I want to be serious for a second. This is how a lot of game development and movie development and show development tends to go. People throw around ideas and spitball and get some creative concepts in terms of sketches, in terms of code design, in terms of some of the basic, you know, very, 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 very rough framework of what the game's going to be, story-wise and game-wise, way before they actually sit down and actually start making any of that crap. What I'm trying to say is that exact phase is probably where they're at with Elder Scrolls 6 right now. They've probably got a decent idea of the framework of where they want to set it, what kind of main plot they want, etc., right? That's probably it, because all of the actual production, and at this moment, post-production, is going on for Starfield. And that's correct. That's how that should be. You don't want to split your attention like that. Oh, there's so many quests. Okay, it's okay. Some of them are heroics. We're okay. We're okay. Wait until we get to the bonus series. Game. There we go. I mean, kinda, yeah, writing phone lines. Because the early phases of development, and I can tell you this from experience, not just, analysis, there's a whole lot of throwing ideas out, and a lot of them don't work.
Chest hurts.
Try not to breathe, son. Ribs broken, almost punctured your lung. Gonna try and move it.
My
General
rib?
Skylast, we've lost the bridge. Enemy smashed through, heading right for us.
Knew we couldn't hold them long. Tell everyone to follow.
That was a really weird cutscene. And he's dead. Correct, Lothario. What in the crap?
Might want to think about turning back. Got an army of escaped warmongers on the way.
I'm not going anywhere. Not while your men still have credits to their name. Bazak, anyone?
Maybe when we're done here. Imperials got careless, opened something they shouldn't have, unleashed an entire army on us, some species we've never seen. They're called Eshka, remnants of a galaxy-spanning civilization predating the Republic. Couldn't play nice and got sentenced here. Permanently.
Things were bad enough when we only had riots to deal with. Now we've got a whole army on the loose?
At least they're not taking sides. Imperials have been getting hit as hard as we have. These Eshka are relentless. Been hammering us non-stop. Won't be long before they overrun us. We need a diversion, something to put them on the defensive and stall their momentum. That's where you come in.
It's also where my compensation comes in.
You do your part, you'll get your credits. We've pinpointed 2 potential targets. A supply depot and an outpost housing some of the Eshka's key leaders. Hitting either of those ought to draw their warriors back and allow us to retake some ground.
The Eshka will be nothing without a chain of command.
They're holed up in an outpost right now, probably planning something horrible for us. Kill every last one of them. You're still welcome to go after the supply depot. Dangerous, but every bit helps. I'll see if I can get some more answers about these Eshka while you're out. Good hunting.
So, Orpcore asks if I hate all the bonus series. Hate's too strong of a word, but I will say this. I've yet to give a positive to a bonus series. And all of them have gotten negatives. The best bonus series so far has been Terrace. Think about it.
They could have been friendlies. The ship doesn't give ID, we assume aggressor status. Regulations, Narek. Great, the interrogators are here. You gonna lock me up for doing my job?
Ignore Sergeant Gano. I know your rep, and I'm glad you're here. An unknown ship we shot down crashed right in prison territory.
If you didn't recognize it, why shoot it down?
It didn't respond when we hailed it. That's suspicious. But then a friendly ship with comlink trouble wouldn't respond either. You know?
It came in hot and refused to ID itself. We had to assume hostile intent.
Maybe. Problem is, it crashed in Eshka territory. Those freaks could stage a breakout with a sheet of flimsy plast and a calf cup. Someone needs to trash that ship's cargo before they can put it to use. An Eshka escape would be bad, as in sector-wide warfare.
What do you think was on board?
If that was a friendly ship, it might hold weapons or a munitions resupply.
But it's hostile, and you know it. Probably delivering equipment for droids or some dirtbag's escape attempt.
Either way, it'll go bad really soon. Look, we've got the explosives to demo the cargo. We're desperate here. Can you help?
Your Eshka prisoners will not find freedom this day.
Thanks. Now if we're done, I gotta get my eye on the sky.
Look, destroying the cargo is obviously top priority, but if you can, find out if that was a friendly ship, okay? I have to know.
And yes, for those of you who weren't in the know on that, the terrorist bonus series bugged out, so we couldn't do it. So we didn't. Whoops, I think I...
The power station's been taken offline.
Yeah? How many Imperials were caught in the explosion? 10? 20? 100? Ah, it doesn't matter. Mission's over. What's done is done. Thanks! Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go drown myself in Corellian ale. Log 79. No evidence of traditional prison transport system. Outlandish or not, the matter teleportation system would explain. Yeah, by the way, they have a frickin' transporter on this planet.
What have you figured out?
The prison is huge. The original architects must have developed a way to move through it quickly, probably using fixed point-to-point teleportation. We can't know for sure until I get scanner results from one of the teleporter endpoints. I think I've located one nearby, but the prisoner's running loose.
I guess I'm willing to check it out.
That would be phenomenal. Here, take my scanner. If we can prove there's a functional teleport technology down here, the potential! Yeah, that's exactly what we need in Star Wars, is frickin' transporters. Thank you, Zeiss. I've put that towards Horizon Forbidden West. This way, I think? Yes, that looks right. I think Luke might have been able to sense it, Lothario. Because that's kind of how the Force works. The writers would be like, "Hey, Luke! Hey! Your dad's Vader!" And Luke would be like, "Oh, crap." In exactly the tone I just used. Why does it tell me to go way back there? Is the quest splitting? Are the quests splitting? Might be a better way. They are! Oh god, I hate this planet so much. Alright, hang on. Way back here. Oh, that's true. Transporters are arguably a superweapon by themselves. That's not a joke. God, I hate Belsavis so much. Like, some people have said, "Lord, you're being too harsh on it." But the problem is, everything is wrong with this damn place. Like, it's not really that bad on any particular element, but all of those elements suck. It doesn't help that between the two transporters, or excuse me, between the two fast travel points, the game's quest tracker literally doesn't know how to tell you where to go in some cases. Anyway, so Alex asked, do I think the military characters are morons, or they're just badly written? That's effectively what you're asking. I actually think we have a mix. But that being said, I do think at least some of it is because these people don't know how to write military, because most people just sort of assume how military works, or are working on a horrible crunch because 6-year development time. Strong as a small pony. Oh, that's really quite strong. How would you know that? Hey, look, I'm your dad. What? Force works in mysterious ways. And every time, if you just replace the words "the Force" with "the writers," a lot of the Star Wars storytelling makes a lot more sense. It is the will of the writers. We must bring back balance to the writers. The Force works by the seat of its pants. You know, that'd be funny if that was true in universe. Actually, think about that just for just a second. The Force has no overarching plan, and is kind of stupid. So the Force is just making it up as it goes. Like, okay, hang on. Okay, there. That's there. This is over here now. Oh, God, and now, I forgot about this. I forgot Rwanda. Yeah, Biona Belsavis is the same problem. Yeah, the Force is Barney Gumbo, exactly.
Well, the leaders aren't here. And you're gonna want to hear this.
With an axe!
Neural disruptor? Can they even do that?
It's possible, sir. Would incapacitate us all. However, I should be able to recalibrate the security shields to block out its effects.
Do it. I don't want to be a twitching, drooling heap when the condemned get here. That's one crisis averted. But you better get back here fast. Once they realize the disruptor didn't work, they'll attack in force.
I'll be there as quick as I can.
Hurry back as soon as you can. Growl out.
Yeah, the Force is just playing a never-ending game of Jenga with the galaxy. Nope. Nope. Damn it! So close. Okay, I think I've got it. Wait, who's Palpatine? Where'd this guy come from? What's up, Shadow Machine? Is it that you secretly hate me? Tell me you secretly hate me. I'm ready. Ready. I mean, that's not going to happen, Tyrant. No offense. The one and only thing I know for certain we're not doing when we redefine the Force is we're not going to not define the Force.
Can you breathe?
The Force is technobabble. No! Not money! God, no, please. I'm begging you. I'll do anything. I'll bow! I'm sorry, Shadow Machine. I'm sorry. Have mercy. But I am very appreciative. Thank you, Shadow Machine. I will put that towards... That was Dawn of War 2, right? Yep. Dawn of War 2. The darkening of all death. I don't know, I like the Barney Gumbo answer the most so far. What's the Force? Ooh.
It's too late. We held them off for a while, but they broke through. Most of our personnel fell back to the armory, but Kelsa, she was a model officer. Those animals cut her down without a second thought. Would have been a massacre if you hadn't warned us about that disruptor. Oh, they'll die for this. The Condemned, the Imperials, and Nironos.
Cool. I'll kill them all for you.
I'll hunt down every last one of them.
Like how Giga
Do what
picked
you
that
have
too.
to do. You're barricaded in the control room. We prevented them from slicing the central terminal remotely. Now they're trying to access it manually. I saved a few Magnetar rifles for you. Should get you through the security fields. Get in there and finish this.
Let's go, Giga Pudding. Let's moita them all. Yeah. What about them? They look fresh. Hi. Ready to die?
How do you work this thing? This antiquated tech is older than... Nironos? Company.
We're right here, dude.
At last we meet. You've given me and my men no end of trouble. I'm glad our paths have finally crossed.
That's your voice actor?
Stand down, Nironos. Put a stop to this madness.
Never! We've come too far to just crawl back into our cells. Neither I nor my comrades have committed any crime
Oh my god, it's Cam
against the
Clark.
Republic. We will have our freedom, one way or another.
Do shut up, Nironos. No one wants to hear another speech. Just kill these upstarts.
We came to negotiate, Imperial. Fight your own battles.
Speak for yourself. I'll take a fistful of Imperial credits over your crusade any day.
At least a few of you animals know the meaning of loyalty. As for you, Nironos, you can die with the rest.
Well, time to kill an Imperial. Again. I feel like this is my day job at this point, you know?
My own men, throwing me to the Imperials for a few credits. Only a lifetime in prison will breed that kind of desperation. But please, put down your weapons and let us speak. No one else needs to die today.
Sure, let me just
would have
pull this gun
negotiated
out
sooner,
here.
but those Imperial watchdogs wouldn't allow it.
I thought they were your allies. Why the sudden change of heart?
It's a really dumb question.
Aims were never ours. They extended a helping hand, only to catch us by the throat. But if words are not enough, allow me to prove my sincerity. Attention, my fellow condemned. This is Nironos. Lay down your arms. It's time we resolve this peacefully.
Stop right there, you murdering scum! You won't poison this prison anymore! Why are you just standing there? Kill that lunatic so we can end this madness!
I figured you'd want to be here when he died.
Wait, at least hear me out! Neither I nor any of the condemned have ever been convicted of a crime. We merely inherited our ancestors' sentences. All we want is our freedom. Perhaps a small piece of land on Belsavis, where we can live in peace. We deserve that much.
Only thing this nutcase deserves is a blaster bolt between the eyes. If you don't kill him, I will!
You've heard our demands. Do what you will. Just know that I'll die before I return to that cell.
Okay, I'd love to kill you, but the inherited sentences thing is just extremely messed up.
Nironos is willing to forget the past, Grawl. It's time you did the same. Do the right thing and help him settle his people.
Yes, you're right. This has gone too far. You'll have your freedom, Nironos. You're going to work for it. I expect you and your people to help us restore order here.
Agreed. And thank you for seeing reason. We will not forget this.
Behave yourself, or I'll come back for your head.
We fought hard for this freedom. We're not about to squander it.
I appreciate you helping us clean up this mess. We're one step closer to getting this place under control.
Yeah, I'd like to know which senators... Well, actually, no, this is a top-secret prison facility. Most people in the Republic aren't aware of this place, which means nobody voted for that. Or if anybody did, it was probably a committee, which, if the Republic operates anything like the United States, which it does, committees are where a lot of the actual power in the Senate really lies. I've talked about that before. Where's the... So what probably happened is a few senators from who knows where and who cares got together on the committee for dealing with the Belsavis situation, and they decided to go ahead and do this. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I don't want to get too political, but let's just say there's a lot of precedents for... We decided something centuries ago, and it's still law because changing laws takes a lot of time and effort, which usually doesn't happen. Okay. So now it wants me to go way down there, I think, if I'm reading this correctly. Probably. Casual. And they're probably like, that's a good idea! Okay, maybe not like that, but... Actually, the really messed up thing, what's more likely than them ruling that people here share their sentences, is that there was no ruling. This is a black site prison. So, anybody born here just gets to stay here in order to keep the secrecy. So, why don't we take one of those planet-destroying superweapons, park it over Belsavis, and just kind of... All in favor? Listen, you can't mass murder millions of innocent people without... Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that? Hang on. I need to look something up here. There we go. Sorry, I need to check my notes really quick. We go under all. Okay. So just double checking my negatives. Don't mind me. Oh god. Oh, I'm in combat with something. That's why. It was a good effort, Giga. It was a good effort. I gotta ask, have you ever made a character named Ultra Pudding? Super Pudding? Mega Pudding? I'm just curious. Because that sounds awesome. Now witness the firepower of this fully armed and operational pudding. Hey, I have orbital bombardment now. I mean, Giga Pudding, there's a ring to it, you know? Giga Pudding. I mean, that's a strange statement, Mega Skullbun Spockman. The last 2 times I streamed Dragon Age Origins, I streamed the Steam version. So I'm probably going to stream that version again. I mean, it's from back before Origins came out. The Ultimate Edition, you know? Possibly Mega Skullbun Spockman, because I feel like I know what you're talking about now that you say that. Because I picked up the Ultimate version later, right? Like, I got Dragon Age Origins shortly after it came out, and then put it down because I hated it. And then, like, several years later, my friend Pax was like, no, you should give it a real shot. And that's when I picked up the Ultimate Edition, which has all the DLCs and stuff. And that version's been fine. I mean, it has the memory leak, but I'm pretty sure every version of Dragon Age Origins has the memory leak. I have technically gotten lost. No, I don't think I've actually gotten lost, no. I've gone the wrong way a couple of times, if that counts. By which I mean, like, alright, I just need to get into this place, so I'll just go around the wall. Nope, that's a dead end. And then go back the other way. If that counts as being lost, then yes, we have already accomplished that.
Steady and calm, we've no need to draw attention. The one the Republic sent is already here.
Oh, whoops.
If you help me find Rogan the Butcher, the Republic authorized me to cut you a deal.
My heart leaps. Pray, what do they offer? My own fit screen? Rehabilitation of Coruscant with a house arrest collar?
That would actually be much better than what they're offering.
They hide behind sealed doors and force fields while I explore the treasures of this world. They cannot even track their prisoners while I have mastered the secrets of a race that once ruled this galaxy.
Anything you wanna, share?
You are a man who prefers action to contemplation. You could not grasp the workings of a machine more ancient than half the stars in our sky. The Empire only found this forgotten world when I called them on the transmitter abandoned millennia ago by the creators of Belsavis.
Even I know ancient machines, plus a power-hungry madman, is usually a bad equation.
Yeah?
Squawk, Buzz, take care of this distraction. Meet us later at the ship.
I'm gonna feed you your guts. That sounds really gross. Are they... Don't take that, Squarg.
A real man wouldn't let some bug get away with making fun of you.
Shut your mouth, bughead. I'm sorry, are you afraid I might use words with more than one syllable? Yeah! You want to fight me? Bring it on, big guy, I'll even help you. That end of the blaster goes in front. I was just saying, can someone get the popcorn here, please? So, they're dead. We should not have let this guy out. We should also killed him. The insect and pig lizard were useful after all.
You are one messed up individual.
You must be the Republic errand boy Ivory once did. I haven't been allowed to kill anything in years. You'll do nicely. By the way, this species will not exist within the rewrite. Just letting you know. Because Jedi, or whatever they're called, are just ridiculous.
Captain, thank goodness you called. The Warden droids are going crazy. They're reporting life signs and breaches in the innermost defenses. Our troops in the area are under heavy fire from an unknown species. They can't respond.
Whatever they are, they're stupid.
If I say there's ruins down there of an ancient galaxy-spanning empire, would you think I'm crazy? Or kind of dashing?
I think you're smarter than we were counting on. I've done some digging of my own, and I think that's exactly the secret the Republic wants to conceal. Ivory may be about to blow it wide open.
So, if I bring him back in handcuffs, will you pin the little gold star on me? Personally?
I know the Republic's in trouble when you're our best hope. You stop Ivory, Captain, and keep whatever's down there contained, and I'll make sure you like your reward. The breach I'm seeing is at Vault 806, part of the inner prison that's been marked off-limits even to the military. If you think Ivory's going there, you better follow. Fast.
And I looked that up now, because I'm curious which species this is. Let's see here. Okay, yep, nope. I'm right. It's the Gendai, which I already said. Or Gendai, I don't know how to pronounce it. The Dumbs, that's what they are. We're gonna call them the Dumbs from now on. Vitario says, do I believe there's free will in the Star Wars galaxy? Yes. To what extent? 100%. Or at least as much as the writers believe in that particular thing. Why is someone like Grand Admiral Thrawn to be this near-perfectly unstoppable force of unique and unmatched intellectual might? Probably because he's written to be basic-level competence, which puts him so far ahead of everybody else that it just kind of makes him seem that good. I'm pretty sure if you put any actually capable or competent leader in here, they'd come across as the same way. It'd take them a while, but they're patient pancakes. Also, we don't know how the Force interacts with the founders, so that's kind of a problem. So, Alex asked an interesting question. We found anything about the Force's intelligence? Like, is the will of the Force mostly a hand wave, or is there actually a sentience to the Force? So, writers disagree, and obviously we have multiple continuities to deal with. But Malachor is probably more equipped to answer this for the AU, but I keep seeing things that seem to indicate that there really is an overall will to the Force. We do know that George Lucas was going to go in that direction back in the day. That obviously doesn't count now, but it was something that was going to be a story plot, so how much of that counts? It's up to you. Oh, yeah, that felt good. Well, everything tastes like iron now. Where's Darth Treya's philosophy coming from? Her brain? I don't understand that question. She woke up one morning and was bitten by a radioactive philosopher? What do you mean? Ironic, because as a writer, I would absolutely answer that question, Size. But then again, as we all know, I am a terrible, terrible writer. Whee! Yeah, I like Sarura's answer. She's a bitter old woman who's seen everything gone to hell, and frankly, a lot of that's, well, it's easy to blame on the Force, so. What do I need, Giga? Oh, hang on. Let me go here. I do like Trek questions, Ross. Okay, that's a cutscene. You beam in at least? Yeah, okay, you can. Yay.
Rachel, if you find this log, I'm probably dead. I'm on the delivery run to Belsavis, and things are looking sketchy. I got the laser drills past the contraband scans, but I was dumb and took some fire from automated defenses right off the planet. My comlink's not working, so I can't talk my way out of trouble if I'm spotted. Which means I could get shut down. If I do, find out if Hallen got his drills from the wreckage, and get that crime lord scumbag to pay up. You're a tough girl, Rachel. A damn good partner. I love you. Out.
Well, that's depressing as hell. The Klingons got cloaking tech canonically by getting it from the Romulans, because the Romulans sold it to them, which is one of the stupidest things in the history of the ever. The real-life reason for that is because they wanted to save money on making models, so they just reused the same model they used of the Klingons and the Romulans to make that work, and blah, 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 blah. As for why the Federation can't have it, the Federation doesn't sneak around. That is the canonical, out-of-character reason for why the Federation doesn't develop cloaking technology. The Treaty of Algernon was added on later to try and come up... So writers, years later, came up with the treaty in order to try and explain why all of that was a thing. But that's trying to smooth over continuity, and honestly, I think it fails. But yes, it's also possible that the Force has total and absolute control of everything, and there is no such thing as free will, which would suck, admittedly, and would mean the entire galaxy needs to be wiped out from top to bottom. But, on the plus side, I'm sure there's some kind of plus. I don't know what it is, but there's some kind of plus. Right, what am I looking for here? What am I getting? Oh, that thing. Duh. Right there. So yeah, the funny thing is we literally don't know what the Federation got in return for that. People have theorized over the years and come up with headcanon answers, but we don't know. I agree with the Admiral and Pegasus. Yes. Absolutely. Look, even if the Federation never deployed cloaks, they absolutely need to study them so they can understand how they work, any long-term effects, both on the environment and on the people using them, and of course be able to detect through them when others use them. And I'm not even just talking about the Romulans. There's a whole lot of neutral individuals and ships out there that could grab a cloak and cause issues if they wanted to. So, yes, absolutely, they should scan, learn, and develop their own cloaking technology. Kind of, yeah, Alex. Exactly, Pancakes. I'm actually okay with them not using cloaks. First of all, the Federation doesn't have as much use for cloaks as the other powers do. Not really. Second of all, and arguably more importantly, they could have gotten something really legitimate out of that treaty. And even ignoring how treaty-happy the Federation is, even I, who am not as treaty-happy, could see the benefit of saying, yeah, we'll get rid of cloaks, and you can have that in exchange for X, Y, and Z, right? I don't know what X, Y, and Z are, but my point is there's plenty of things that could be beneficial to give up cloaks for. Really? Well, this is gonna suck. I don't know who Section 8 is, but probably Venters. I say probably because unless they cover up the new Trek, that's the realm of... Oh, I need to kill another one. Of theory, not fact. Oh, there's one. It's funny you say that, Cubic Skull, because remember, the Federation has personal cloaks. As in a cloaking device for an individual human being. Which, if you don't understand how insanely advanced that is, then I don't know what else to add to that. Hi, J. Palmer. Welcome back. We're still on Belsavis. So, I agree with you. Cloaking technology is extraordinarily useful. But... just optical cloak. I mean... I've never heard of Inventors, I'm sorry. Now, if you're thinking of Section 31, that's who I was talking about. But again, if Section 31 has any cloaking tech, I haven't heard about it. They probably do. It would be silly if they don't. Ugh. Alright, Giga. I mean, Pudding. I'm gonna want... Let's see, should we do caramel pudding? Vanilla pudding? Cookies and cream pudding? Or all of the above? The best personal spaceship in sci-fi. Ooh, that's a tough one, actually. It's obviously not the Normandy, because the Normandy sucks. The Normandy 2. Oh, you said the Normandy 2. Damn it. Well, it's not the Normandy 2. The Normandy 2 sucks. It's clearly... Whoop. He said personal spaceship Terra. I love the Hyperion and the Executor and the ISD and the Harrower, the Venator, as much as the next person, but those aren't personal spaceships. We're talking RV range. I suppose your personal preference, Larian. I do like cookies and cream pudding. They actually very rarely have this Oreo pudding, which I really like. And make as often as I'm able. Which is not very often. What? We're done with this. Why are we in here? God damn it, this is all just bonus series crap, isn't it? By bonus series, I mean bonus. Ugh, screw this place. I spit on it. Whee. I mean, I would say not any size, because, like, Moya's technically a personal ship, but... Like, have you seen how huge Moya is? That thing is gargantuan. That's true, riding phone lines. That's a very valid point. I don't like to think in that direction, because that just opens up the door for a lot of bad writing, but... Talon's a little more actually personal. As opposed to the gigantic freighter thing that is Moya. Meanwhile, Giga's being Giga. Okay, so hold on. So... I guess it's all back at this point. Alright. See, the problem is I'm having trouble even thinking about personal spaceships. Most of the ships I tend to like are the big boys, you know, the capital ships. Which is weird, because the idea of having a personal ship that I can live in actually appeals to me quite a bit. You know, a little bit bigger than... I mean, the Smuggler ship is literally bigger than my apartment, as I've talked about before. A runabout would qualify, although I'd probably take the Normandy over that. Where am I going? Kinda, yeah, Cubic. Except better in every way. The agent ship is very legit. Form and function. That one. Nice luxury cruise ship. Plus, you know, all the little gimmicks underneath. I told you it was huge, Warp Core. Nobody believes me. I'd prefer the Normandy 2 any day over the Normandy 1. Normandy 1 is, eh.
I destroyed the cargo. Turns out, it was a smuggler ship delivering laser drills to some crime lord. You foiled an escape attempt.
See? Just like I said.
Thank the stars. And thank you. Those drills could have been a fast track to freedom for the Eshka.
It's so hard to be humble, knowing how great I am.
Well, you've got me convinced. Stay safe out there, huh?
I mean, you could turn down the lights, I assume, Casual. Like, I would hope you could do that. I could do that in real life. Sure, I could do that in the frickin' Normandy.
I have the results from your scanner.
Kias to puño. Tuana uba kili wata pongkidanko padogalola. Te bisa kakuka peme wata.
Yes, we can teleport now.
Are we done? Can I go now?
Mukili makolunki ne at bompa bushuda. Vivanaiga twipi tai boka donko wanawanga. Kukatichoski nawi kuchusi yomata chi pompota.
Actually, it's not a relative, it's just me. I was always a Twi'lek. They exported me, you know, sold me out as a slave so I could settle this planet called Earth. I gotta tell you, I kind of hate this place. Like, nothing personal, y'all, but, ugh. This place sucks. Oh, whatever. What happened to my Leku? Why do you think I wear this coat?
The Eshka leaders are down and their grunts are scrambling to reorganize. They're pulling back now. Should give us time to catch our breath. Thanks.
I'm ready for it, Zobe. Hit me!
They're vulnerable. Now's the time to keep the pressure on them.
I'm sending a few squads out to retake some of our more defensible outposts. Not much, but it's a start. You've probably guessed the Republic didn't build this place. It was constructed thousands of years ago by a species called the Rakata. The Rakata hated the Eshka, wrote about them like they were a plague, waged a war that engulfed the entire galaxy. In the end, the Eshka were nearly wiped out. The few 100,000 survivors brought here to be locked away in stasis.
Why not just kill them?
How have I not heard about any of this?
SIS has been keeping a lid on this whole affair. Need to know and all that. The Eshka conquered half the galaxy in their heyday, and they'll pick up right where they left off if they ever escape. Your raid caught them off guard. They're crippled, shaken. Now is the time to press our advantage and halt their advance for good.
Agreed. Let's wipe them out.
I think that pretty much goes without saying.
We've traced the bulk of the Eshka's comm activity back to a small cavern. We think they're using it as a command station. Whoever's in there is coordinating the Eshka's entire offensive. It's our best shot at taking out their leadership. I want you to take it.
I might have time to look into it.
There's a lot of extra comm chatter coming out of that station. Not sure what all the commotion is about, but we can't wait to find out. Find the station, take out the leadership. Then, maybe we can go back to pushing the Imperials off this rock.
You know, ironically, Cubic, I bet you're exactly right, because I could see the Rakata having that mindset. We must make sure that future generations suffer. Why? I don't understand the question. Future generations must suffer. I mean, we suffered. By the way, can I just say that I absolutely hate that mentality? I first encountered that mentality in MMOs. Of all things. Players would get pissy when things got easier, or cheaper, or more accessible. And they're like, wow, when I was doing it, it was awful and terrible and horrible. I hate that more people can now enjoy the game. Where's my Beatles now? But then how do we get the Rakata involved, Cubic? We have to have them build the prison. After all, if the Republic built a planetary prison, then they might not be the bastion of good and order we think they are. Yeah, I don't know about you all. I want my niece to have a much better life than I ever had. Like, just top to bottom, you know? This is a rando quest, right? Yep. Yeah, the crab mentality is a real problem. It's just... ugh. I want my niece to never grow up having to suffer migraines. You know? I know that's a weird thing to point out, but I had a migraine yesterday, so it's kind of fresh in my mind. No, pun intended. There's probably several J. Palmer. They have a pretty big voice cast, but there's a lot of characters in this game. I don't know specifically, though, off the top of my head. Prison City does make a whole lot more sense. We can still keep the Ricotta or the Eshka if we want to. And yeah, we could just have them, they set up a prison facility here instead of a prison planet. We'll have to figure out what we do with the Dreadmasters. What do you think, Tyron? Because I've never heard your thoughts on the Dreadmasters in general. A Theater of Tor. They already all have voice acting. At least FF14 makes some sense, because there's a lot of quests that, you know, literally have no voice acting there. I haven't seen that movie in years. I remember liking it in a parody sort of a way, not as a serious film. Escape from, LA? I think it was LA. You know the one. Oh no, it's Lord Deathdoom. Oh, I like that idea, Tyron. That amuses me. Okay, hold up. I'm having an issue here. Hang on, hang on. This is not the first time we've seen this. We'll just walk out here. Walk back in. Come on. There it goes. I'm good. Your voice is like the savants, but your breath is toxic. Your foul song poisons them.
Side, have they? How enlightening. Killing me will bring them further down the path.
You paint your words with lies. I shall wipe the canvas clean with your blood. Tread on unwelcome ground. I am Hunter Moon. I fought that boss. I will feast on your screams.
The only thing you'll be feasting on is the business end of my blaster.
You're an insect among kings. Scuttle away or be squashed.
Don't waste words on these vermin. Kill them and be done with it.
This one reeks of treachery. His hand glistens with his brother's blood. He dies first.
You're probably right. He is Sith after all. Finish him off and we'll get started.
No, wait!
He was unworthy of breath. As are you. Yeah, letting him die isn't a dark side choice. Did you catch that? Now they're gonna drink my insides. That's just unhygienic. Your victory is a wasteland that leads nowhere. The World Razor dreams of fire and hunger. Soon he will rise, and his nightmare shall consume this world. Cool. Good talk. The
Eshka general is dead, but he mentioned something about awakening a World Razor that would destroy us all.
Wait, the World Razor? He said that? So maybe it is true. This is bad.
What?
The Eshka seemed to think this World Razor was going to destroy the planet.
Yeah, sounds like what you'd expect from a World Razor. A few deep cell inmates were babbling about it. Could barely understand a word they said, much less put any stock in it. Went on about this thing in the planet's core. Claimed it was massive, as old as the galaxy. I thought it was just superstitious nonsense.
It's a big galaxy. Anything's possible.
Certainly seen my share of crazy stuff down here. If this World Razor actually exists, Waking it up is probably the worst thing the Eshka could do. You've got to stop them. Best place to start is the deep prison. All kinds of ancient monstrosities sealed away down there. You'll be on your own, though. Watch yourself.
Why aren't they dead? And yes, I do plan to do Inquisitor. Excuse me. The Planetary is on Inquisitor. Ding, 70. That was writing phone lines. Good ear. I'm just gonna see how this works. Perfect. Exactly as designed. Oh, that's a big cooldown. At this point, I'm curious when I'm going to hit 80, because I think I might. We've got 2 planets after this, and we are not done with Belsavis. Getting there. I think I'll do the Belsavis bonus series off camera again. It goes by a little bit quicker when I read at my pace and don't let them voice act. Which is what I did for Hoth, by the way. And you're probably thinking, but lore! Don't worry. Most of it was Huttese anyways. Inshkastomkaya vom Teon. Blaste dam daske. No, I know, Shadow Machine. It's ridiculous. Listen, we gotta have the Eshka here because... No Jabawonga. No Jabawonga. Dasta van Cristo. Oh, oh, oh.
You made it. Good. Now listen up. Got a possible lead on that World Razor. Recon droids picked up a large contingent of Eshka headed for the prison bowels. Elite soldiery. Very dangerous. Led by none other than the Eshka's patriarch, Gore Claw. If that maniac's involved, it's a sure bet they're up to something.
You think this has something to do with the World Razor?
Can't think of anything else that would rally the Eshka like this. The Eshka are gonna need one heck of a trump card if they run off this rock. My money's on the World Razor. Dug up some records on the thing. Very apocalyptic. Saw phrases like, destroyer of planets and eater of stars more often than I'd like.
And you want me to stop it with my blaster?
The entire Republic fleet may not have the firepower to take that thing down. That's why we keep it here, imprisoned. Overheard some Eshka comm chatter. Something about disabling a fail-safe. Could be our ticket to stopping all this nonsense. The transmission came from a nearby cave. Lots of Eshka assembling there. Gonna need you down there to see what this fail-safe is all about.
Looks like I don't have any choice but to play along.
This mission will take you deeper into Belsavis than anyone's gone. It's a dangerous world down there, but the Republic, heck, maybe the galaxy, is counting on you. Good luck.
You're around, Alex. Enjoy dealing with the ancient precursor race. So Jay Palmer asked something. Do I think that the phase device violates the Treaty of Algernon? Actually, no. I think it's specifically the fact that it's a cloak in addition to a phase that violates it. I know it's a little bit of legalese, but phasing and cloaking are very different techs.
Warning. Threats or violence will result in immediate suppression. Subjects identified as non-inmates. Threat. Negative.
Okay.
Warden Team Leader TM09 requesting Republic assistance. Subordinate droids have been compromised. Inmate containment endangered.
What kind of prison guard lets his whole team be compromised by the inmates?
Hostile inmate numbers were too high. Eshka inmates captured all subordinate droids. They have been reprogrammed to attack non-inmates with lethal force. This unit can supply emergency security spikes to override Eshka reprogramming. Inmate suppression request. Use security spikes to reclaim subordinate droids.
I'll get your droids back. Hand over the spikes.
Acknowledged. Prepare for heavy resistance. Reprogrammed droids will be directed to engage inmates until area is pacified.
Did I answer you, Tyrant? I think I did. In case I didn't, yes, we're going to be doing the planetary stuff on the Inquisitor on the other side. I know. The Empire's like, oh, we got this. Wait, hang on. We're not done here, are we? Whoops. Hang on, hang on. I really hate this map. It's really sad how much I take good map design for granted when I don't have it. I blame myself, of course. I didn't know. I didn't know. Okay. Please tell me I can. Of course I can't. Why could I? That would be insanity! Hoth is still pretty bad. Corellia is still the worst. In terms of zone layout and map design. Screw Corellia. While BC literally has better map design. That's true. Let's see if I can do this without, you know, dying horribly here. Oh, that worked. Uh-oh. That one actually turned green, holy crap. Could you not kill me? I'd appreciate it if you didn't. Pudding swoops in to the rescue, as always. What would I do without Pudding? Other than finally snap and conquer the world. You know what my favorite motive for conquering the world is? Not being able to taste coffee anymore. I'm not going to explain that. Some of you probably know what I'm referencing. Did you get all your things here, Giga? Do you care? I mean, there's all kinds of answers to this. Okay, don't care. Let's go! I mean, if you think about it, Janeway would totally take over the Delta Quadrant if she couldn't taste coffee anymore. I will admit that while I love the idea of force, you know, the whole force specialization thing, so the idea of force users who are specifically good at, you know, propagating fear certainly appeals to me. I always found the Dreadmasters rather flat in Tor. Maybe that's down to execution, I don't know. Oh shoot. Pudding got dazed. No! I didn't even notice. Okay, you're safe. I mean, that's true, Tyrant. I stand by my statement, though. They're not great. Like, they act... Well, okay, in the scene I'm referencing, they act like a completely stereotypical Sith Lord. Like, you could literally refer to if you replaced the Dreadlord with, or the Dreadmasters with any other Sith Lord who doesn't even have a name, you wouldn't even notice the difference. Other than their terrible fashion sense, obviously. It's okay, Giga. After this we have Voss. Then... Okay. Well, no, that's my point. Voss is going to be the breather. They are Sarura! Evilness. Well, yeah, they're strong, but nobody cares about that, Dr. Winter, because all we care about is how evil they are. Yeah, I got a PhD in evil. You kidding me? You can call me Doctor... Wait, don't actually do that. Just call me Dr. Wily. Corellia, so Ord Mantell, Tython, Nal Hutta, Korriban, Droman Kos, and Coruscant. And Corellia. Those don't have bonus series. I have no idea about the expansion stuff. I'm also an art major, obviously, Saru. Are there dragons in Witcher? I have no idea. Will they be in the rewrite? The Dread Masters? Probably not. Ah, thank God for daily zones, which we can just completely ignore. And we're gonna. Screw that noise. See, Warp Core gets it. I couldn't get a real job in the factory holding a drill, so I had to make do. Not as often as I used to, Warp Core. Nowadays, I'll tell someone, like, in person, you know, they'll ask, what do you do for a living? I'll say, well, I'm a streamer. And their reaction is usually, oh, that's cool. What do you stream?
A
1,000 planets burn, 100 stars wither and collapse. Failsafe sees too much, says too much. He tells of certain pasts and uncertain futures. His people must seal him away. Eshka pound on the glass. They want to kill Failsafe, but strangers intervene. Failsafe is grateful.
All this time, I thought I was looking for a device, not a person.
Failsafe is forgotten. His people are no more, only his enemies remember him. Many seek out the World Razor. Already its eye begins to open. Soon it will awaken. Only the Burning Way remains to stop the World Razor. And only Failsafe remembers the Burning Way.
Couldn't you have just left a note or something?
To more horrors dwell in the vaults waiting to escape. The prison needs its failsafe. The World Razor is bested. The builders seal it beneath the planet's crust and construct the Burning Way to safeguard its imprisonment. Today, the Eshka race to revive the World Razor and destroy the Burning Way. The World Razor's time draws near.
If your people had just destroyed the World Razor, we wouldn't be in this mess.
Yesterday, the World Razor's power is timeless. The builders can subdue it and shackle it, but never destroy it. Today, the World Razor waits in the depths. The Eshka amass under Claw's banner, preparing their final triumph. Preserve the Burning Way and seal the World Razor's fate. I bet you if we had like a Death Star, we could kill that thing. There's a thought. Just keep a Death Star around for that. Yeah, by the way, did you catch that? This is yet another super weapon. It's not quite the same as most super weapons, because it's actually an ancient eldritch horror. But, you know. The whole galaxy will burn if we don't stop this super weapon. Cthulhu. The Dreadmasters? Ah, actually, they kind of qualify as a super weapon. Yeah, no kidding, Crazy Horse. Cat'll drink in no time. There's the burning way over there. And then that's over there, okay. Lava. Who would win? Darkside Yoda? Darkside Yoda is now canonically called Yoder. That's just a thing now. I don't remember this quest. Is that a repeatable? That feels like a repeatable. Yeah, let's skip that. Let's skip that. Darth Yoda. I probably should have Blade Revolt, but okay, so hang on, let's think about this. So, we have the Gauntlet from Trooper Act 2, right? Was there a Trooper Act 3 super weapon? I guess we could count the General. Do we want to count the General as the Act 3 super weapon for Trooper? Where's the clicker? There's the clicker. Ah! Let's go the wrong... Where am I going? God damn, this frickin' map. Down, I think? I think it's down. Well, let's try down. Ugh. Yeah, I was gonna say, then there's the planetary primaries. Really tyrant. Okay, so hang on. So we had the Mega Gun from Balmora. I remember that. There wasn't anything in Terrace. There wasn't anything on Coruscant. Yeah, there will be something on Terrace, but we're not covering stuff we haven't covered yet. We're going through it. That's right, there was the Null Cannon on Hoth. There was the Zerka thing, the imprisoning box on Tatooine. No, it really isn't. All the maps suck. Hi. There wasn't really anything on Quesh. Not really. That's right, there was also the cloak thing on Hoth. You're right. So there was the ship cloak trick. What was the thing on Alderaan? I remember what you're talking about, but I can't think of what it was called. The Rakthul Plague? That's a zombie virus. We'll leave that over there. There's Hammerfall Station. We've already done that one. Oh yeah, there's the Foundry. I mean, the Resident Evil Plague is made by Umbrella Corporation, but it doesn't make it a super weapon. It's still a zombie plague. No, Giga. Hi, Sean. We've got the thing from this very storyline that we're dealing with right now. More vermin. My garden has grown wild, its beauty sullied by pests and weeds. The world razor stirs, its groans shatter these walls. Soon the levee will break and we will wash over the stars.
You've already freed the world razor?
You came in search of victory, but only death and defeat await you now. A new dawn approaches. We shall march to the beat of the world razor's heart and trample you under our feet. Who did that? Sorry, I'm looking at my notes, because I've given a few things negatives already that are super weapony. I think that might be it so far, of the stuff we've seen so far. So that puts us at 8 super weapons. We're only on the 2nd class. We must speak. The burning way still churns with liquid fire. Gorklaw has failed me. You have stalled my return. You have much power, but you can have so much more.
It's so hard to be humble, knowing how great I am.
The Eshka do not die easily. Your victory over them does you credit. You need not fear my hunger. Many cycles will pass before my roots burrow into this planet and crack it open. I will be free, but you will be dust and bones by then. Aid me, and your rewards will be great. No.
What kind of rewards are we talking here?
Long-lost technology of your predecessors. Surely you know the glory of the builders with their infinite empire. The fury of their weapons surpassed even my own might. Destroy the burning way. Seal the vents so I may begin my escape. And the builder's technology is yours. Refuse and your children's children shall know my
I came
wrath.
here to activate the burning way, not destroy it. And on that note...
Yeah, the Star of Coruscant probably should qualify by itself. This is far from over. When I am free, I will obliterate every planet you have ever seen or known. I've waited thousands of years for my freedom. I can wait thousands more. You will regret this. No? No, I won't. Moving on. 4X qualify as a super weapon? That's actually an interesting question. Because he's a really dumb super weapon when you think about it. Not that I'm saying 4X is dumb, I'm saying the super mega power core thing is just kind of eyebrow raising. Well, thank goodness the World Razor is permanently dealt with, and we'll never have to think about it again. Whew, close one. Yes, the Crow. Death Star to this planet immediately. Kill all the innocents. So if Yoda fell to the dark side, would he have changed so much to be a different person altogether? Obviously, this depends on your interpretation of the Force, but based on most modern interpretations, the answer would be a big fat yes. Ignoring the obvious fact that when you turn to the dark side, you kind of turn into a different person, because evil, and corruption, and perversion. There's also the fact that we literally see that in this very game. Jaisa. I don't know if you've ever seen the dark side Jaisa. She is a completely different person. Wait. But the planet and the prison... Yeah, anyways. Yeah, Jace on the dark side is messed up, honestly. Like, actually messed up. I'm still debating if we're going to turn our Jace to the dark side, because we'll be evil. Is this a teleport? That's a teleport. Okay, don't care, don't care. We want to go over here. I can fix her. You don't know her like I do. One of the favorite dialogues I've seen, never seen personally, obviously, is if you romance her as an evil Sith warrior and then don't cheat on her, she will be disappointed that she can't go murder people for that. If you do cheat on her, she goes and murders them. But yeah, I agree. Jace is probably a pretty good example of falling to the Force. And I mean that, sincerely. She either falls to the light side, and all that that implies, or she falls to the dark side, and all that that implies. I personally think Jace is a good example of someone who doesn't have a strong core, so she just kind of goes along with whatever. Never a Garrosh. Which is ironic because it contrasts her to, say, Ashara, who has a very strong core, and that's arguably the problem. Oh, and thank you, Zira. Always appreciate. If you want to put that towards something, please let me know. Or be horrifically destroyed. There's just going to be a tidal wave of donuts. Like, just picture everything starts shaking and you look outside. And you're like, what the heck is that? And then just this tidal wave of donuts is coming like 100 meters above you. And then... Whoa, hello. It would probably be very yummy, yes. What is going on here? Hang on. There we go. Hey, Ivory. My name's Ebony. We can live in perfect... I'm done. Howdy. I love how incompetent I look here. Oh no! Oh, yuck! There's a bomb! What do I do? Hi? Why didn't you shoot me?
Didn't I kill you?
I'm Rogan's best. Do you think a few shots to the head could stop me? Now my brothers who are sentenced here add their strength to my own. We will finish you, and then we will finish Ivory. Rogan will be pleased.
But you guys are here to bust Ivory out, right? Get him and Rogan back together, no?
You come this far and stay so ignorant.
Rogan was a fool to send you here instead of kill you. Now I'm gonna finish the job.
You have made it here. For that reason alone, I must respect you. Do you still wish to deal?
If you want my help, you better know more than Rogan's favorite beer.
Rogan drinks brandy. Luranian. And he has a safe house on Tatooine, along with at least 12 other planets I know of. This vault holds an escape vessel, abandoned here by the race who built this planet. It is the only way off without Republic aid.
Why are you...
Let us be partners. Help me launch the craft and defeat this rabble, and together we can reclaim what Rogan stole from me.
Why are they just letting me talk? Or him talk, I suppose. But yeah, these are eaters of other sentients, and messed up besides. We encounter one during the Sith Inquisitor. For God's sakes, chain. Sorry, Abyssin. There's no Abyssian. My bad.
Enough. The Republic has taken much from me. It's time to hand off the crown. Let me serve you. Together we can destroy Rogan and retake my empire in your name.
Now double tap. Then triple tap. Seriously, don't do that. Just shoot him.
With your skills and the knowledge of my years, no one will stand against us.
You saw him blinking, right? What do you think? Should we recruit Ivory? Or stay loyal to the Senator? Ivory is fantastic in bed.
You stay on my ship, you do what I tell you, and you don't leave my sight.
Exactly the terms I would set. The sun has set on my prime, I see that. It will take more to reclaim my empire than to fool these imbeciles. What would you have me do?
You still got any contacts on the outside? Let's get the band back together.
Once we're off Belsavis, I can see who's still active. I'll put together a list of all of my and Rogan's former safe houses. He was never one to change a routine once it worked.
Ooh, Rogan's gonna wet the bed when he hears this one. I'll call the ship and tell them to grab him.
That seems a far safer way to travel than unearthing a wreck that's been on ice for 5,000 years.
Okay. A whole bunch of return tos. Damn. Alright. Oh, I can warp out of here. Oh, thank God. Get me out of here. He's fine, Space Cadet. He's fine. Everything's fine. You worry too much. Sure.
There you are. We were getting worried. Thought maybe I'd sent you to your death down there.
General Skyless told me about the World Razor. Hard to believe something like that's been down in the vaults this whole time.
So what happened? Did you stop the World Razor?
The World Razor's been sealed. He won't be going anywhere for a long time.
Knew I could count on you. Fine work out there.
I can't thank you enough for all your contributions. You've done the Republic a real service. Project Noble Focus would still be up and running if you hadn't exposed Senator Tudos and stopped those Ratataki.
And you even took out Goreclaw. Good riddance, I say. That lunatic had it coming.
I guess that puts an end to the Eshka's plans once and for all.
Hate to be an optimist, but it looks like it. Still plenty of stragglers, but with Goreclaw dead, a lot of them have started killing each other. Weird, but I can't complain. You put a lot on the line to help us out there. The Republic owes you one.
Subordinate droids are reporting significant suppression of Eshka activity. Programming overrides appear successful.
Getting this place back to normal is the right thing to do.
Soon, the Warden team will return to prisoner restraint protocols instead of suppressing open violence. Your assistance is appreciated.
Okay. You know what? I think I'm good with the negatives I've already given this place. I'm not going to tack on anymore. Let's get the hell out of here. God. It probably isn't showing, but this place physically wearied me. I hate going through Belsavis. It's... Thank you, Gus. It's just... It drags on you. You know what I mean? It just kind of makes you go, ugh. So my favorite planet on tour so far is still probably Drome and Kos, but if you ask me my favorite planet amongst just the Republic ones, the ones we've reviewed so far, honestly, I'm going to go with Ord Mantell. I think Ord Mantell's pretty legit. It's got an interesting story, fairly contained, but very tight in its pacing. And there's some cool stuff going on there. Now, that's because there are several other planets which got story positives, but suck on the gameplay axis, like Coruscant, which is pretty good story-wise, and Hoth, which is actually pretty good story-wise as well. But Coruscant has its own issues, and Hoth is Hoth, so... Good night, Doctor.
What are you doing here? Where's Ivory? I just got a call from Commander Skylist. His troops saw an unauthorized ship approaching Vault 806. By the time they got there, the place was empty.
When I finished with Ivory, there wasn't more than a bloody smear left to find.
Good work, Captain. I was wrong about you.
Ooh, I saw right through that tough cop attitude. Inside, you're just a girl waiting for a hero.
Captain, I could call you a lot of things, but hero doesn't make the list. Fortunately, I was never looking for the kind of boy to bring home to Mom.
My God.
I've always wanted a woman with her own nightstick and handcuffs.
My private quarters are this way, Captain.
So that's two people we've had sex with so far.
We really need to work out some kind of signal, Captain.
I'm waiting.
That's terrible.
You certainly weren't what I expected when I landed this post, Captain. I doubt this was smart, but I can't quite bring myself to regret it.
No regrets. Look me up if you ever get back to the real world.
And if we're still working the same side of the law? Best of luck to you, Captain. I'll be thinking about you.
Gus is the only reason Gus isn't a positive yet is because the question is not does he get a positive, it's how many positives does he get. It's the same problem we had with Trooper, right? 4X and Alara were question marks for a long time because we weren't sure how many we were going to give pluses to them for. Oh, I can get on my ship now. Let's do it. Let's get out of here. Actually, before I do that, hang on. I'm going to do something really quick just to set myself up for later. Yes, we're Core. I'm pretty sure there's no actual sex scenes in Tor. Oh, there's no actual sex scenes in Tor. Oh, God. Last thing I want to see. Gus warmed... I warmed up to Gus? I think that's how I want to phrase that. A lot quicker than I thought I would. Oh, Blizz is fantastic. Blizz is the best. Is this... Where am I going? How do I get back up? Hang on, hang on. There it is. Odd. Listen, I would unironically love it if they did a sex scene and we're both fully clothed in our current cosmetics and we're both T-posing. Just bonk, bonk, bonk. I'll let you join if you want to, Giga, but I'm just going to start the bonus series. Oh, I said I wouldn't do the bonus series on camera, and I meant it. But I have been doing the bonus series off camera, so I'm going to at least get it started.
Confirmed. It's them. Agent Mort, SIS. Don't mind the scanners, just routine. Quite an interesting career you have, Captain. And I understand you've added exploring ancient technology and gunning down Eshka to your list of skills.
You've obviously done your research, but what is it that you want?
We need assistance, and your expertise puts you at the top of our list. 4 hours ago, the crew of a frigate in high orbit was attacked by Eshka warriors, who appeared out of thin air. The crew didn't stand a chance. Captain had to scuttle the ship to keep the blasted freaks from using it to escape. No survivors.
Yeah, several of them are at this point, if I'm not mistaken, psychotic. Like, we technically shouldn't even have done the Alderaan bonus series yet.
The Eshka must have used the teleporters from the lower levels.
Exactly. Only explanation.
Or Hoth.
Before the breakout, nobody even knew teleportation was possible. The Eshka are way ahead of us. Gonna get real ugly unless you help stop them.
We can't let the Eshka escape.
Agreed. My tech thinks the teleporters are controlled from some kind of hub deep in the prisons. The Eshka must have found their way in and taken over. One of my people, Agent Paz, will help you find a teleporter to take you in there. And once you're in, you'll push the Eshka out.
I'm sure this will all go just as smoothly as you say.
Depends on if you're as good as they say. You'll find Agent Paz at these coordinates. Time's against us, so move fast. Good hunting.
You know, it just made me sad. We have 6 instances to cover. There's not really a rush on any of those, but, oh, 6. I think Quinn will probably be at least a positive to story. It would be pretty easy to justify a negative to story for Quinn, too, though. And it's mostly because of how he's an interesting, well-fleshed-out character with a nice little arc that just kind of sort of stops rather suddenly. You know what I mean? Especially considering that he was supposed to die. Like, it stumbles pretty hard around that particular point in the story. But I do think Quinn's going to be at least 1+ to story. If nothing else, he's well acted.
Captain, I just got a less than glowing report from Marshal Cavarot. What kind of mess did you get into down there?
More importantly, did you get anything from Ivory? I've outed half a dozen of Rogan's assassins on Port Nowhere. He's really gunning for us.
Turns out, Rogan's the one who put Ivory behind bars. We're working together to get his revenge.
I told you the Republic only authorized...
Oh, drop the act. You want Rogan as much as I do. Send over whatever Ivory gave you. I'll see if I recognize anything. Nothing's ringing any bells. I'll dig a little further.
In the meantime, Captain, I'll work on those permits you'll need to land on Voss. I haven't slept a night since those awful beasts attacked.
Uh-oh, Captain. Better get off the line. We've got a distress call coming.
Is it from a woman? It's from Gigapudding! That's why she fainted. I actually agree with that, Cashel. Quinn would be a good triumvirate. He needs people to balance him out, but he'd probably be really good in a team. Yeah, I was actually thinking about that the other day, Sarura. Can we even name a single class that has no bad companions? I don't think we could.
Yeah? What's your distress? Talk to me.
How refreshing. The whole "I'm honored to serve you, revered master" does get tiresome. Master Sumali, I've been following your career. I hear you have a special interest in the Void Wolf.
Is there something I should know?
I was hoping you might want to hurt him. And save a life while you're at it.
And here I thought when you joined the temple you were done chasing street scum. Welcome back.
We're at war. We all serve how we know best.
I've got room on the ship if you guys want to catch up on old times.
Do you do this just to annoy me, or is that a bonus?
Becoming a prude in your old age. Risha, do you remember Char's Kartur?
What did they used to call us? The triple threat? Didn't she join the SIS?
One of their top agents. When you took out the White Maw's cloaking abilities on Hoth, it drew the Void Wolf's attention. He went there, and Char's followed.
Alone? Is she crazy?
The Republic sent an entire platoon of troopers to escort her. The Void Wolf's assassins killed them all. She's alive, but trapped on Hoth.
Is there a special guilt power in the Force? Jedi always make me feel like I'm talking to my mom.
The sign of a heavy conscience.
When I got Charis's distress call, she had taken refuge in one of the Void Wolf's private vaults. Go quickly if you can. I fear you're Charis's last hope.
But yeah, it's easy to point to a bad Inquisitor companion, Zalek, and of course Warrior has Brunemark. There's some other ones that are debatable. I don't like Lieutenant Pierce as Sith Warrior, and I honestly don't like Kemval as Inquisitor. But I'll at least acknowledge that those are debatable. But Brunemark and Zalek suck. Whoop, wrong way. Nope, I'm going the right way. Nope, yep. Hoth. So, on the off chance you haven't seen us being on Hoth, this is once again your visual warning. It's going to be very bright and very unpleasant. By the way, just last night, I was talking to Pax about this game, and I mentioned how much Hoth made me want to just rip my teeth out. And he was like, why? And I was like, well, hang on, because I happened to be in Tor at the time doing the bonus series, the beginnings of it. So I just said here, and I just streamed it to him, and he's like, oh my god! Just from the blindness of it. And that's the best part. Just the blindness is all you need. Then you get into the bad design of Hoth, and it stacks, you know? It's like, you ever have 7-layer chocolate cake? Because those cakes are awesome. Now imagine each layer of chocolate is actually just a different type of feces, and that's Hoth. Which is a damn shame, because I actually rather like the story of Hoth. Like, the Planetary Primary is actually pretty legit, and there's some good class quests here. It's just frustrating. Anyways, let me look at what I've got for dialogue, because I'm pretty sure I've jotted down a potential positive or Smuggler dialogue. Let me check. Oh, I actually didn't write down dialogue. I'll write it down really quick just to make sure I don't forget it. I'll remember how to spell dialogue too. That'll be important. What's funny is there's actually a game out there. Oh, I know what it is. That does being stuck in a snowy blizzard visually and design-wise much better. Now, I bet you could name a few, but I'm just going to tell you right now. The one I'm thinking of is Red Dead Redemption 2. You remember that? There's not only a there's not only a snowy area, the first part of the game, the very beginning of the game, when you're stuck up in the snowy area.
Reminder: mechanized travel is for official business only.
That is so brilliant visually. If you remember, we gushed so much about that during the review of RDR2 that we started talking about the possibility of giving multiple positives to it. Which, if that sounds weird, we weren't doing that back then. That was kind of a new thing. I picked the wrong thing, though. Whatever, we're committed. We're committed! Good night, Crazy Norse. Have a good one. Alright, now that he's gone, I think we can all agree we should invade Finland to export their good policies to the rest of the world. Except for their traffic stuff. I hear bad stuff about their traffic management. I don't remember how Inquisition did its frost off the top of my head. I agree with Elam, specifically in Fallen Order, or Elam. I never remember how they pronounce it. Wait, you're not finished? What? Listen. I feel lied to here. Well, I'm already going to invade Sweden. Oh my god, Yada. Dude, Sweden's legit. Sweden's literally on one of my list of places I'd like to live outside of the States. One I've been debating, too. Now, this would be lottery-winning territory. Amsterdam. For, honestly, a lot of reasons, but... God damn, that place is expensive to live in, so... That really would be lottery-winning territory to make that happen. Probably Crazy Norse, probably. Not only have I heard good things, I've actually done some of my research, because this isn't a vague idea. I've actually been thinking about moving out of country, and honestly, there's not a lot of places that are really much better, to be blunt. But there are a few, and that's the point. Like, I wouldn't want to move to Canada, for example. No offense. Top 5? Well, I just gave you 3. Welcome to hell, Mr. Red. Yeah, I don't think I'd like living in Japan, honestly. I would love to visit Japan. But I'm not sure I would enjoy settling there, you know? There are some good things about Japan, and honestly, I'd have to learn the language. Actually, I know that, Crazy Norse. But I wouldn't do Hungary. And I wouldn't do Belarus. I don't know why I mentioned that. Belarus has been on my mind lately. Is it down? It is down. Of course it is. Oh, of course it is. Okay. Portugal. Sorry. You asked. So, okay. Finland, Sweden, Amsterdam, Portugal. And I don't like giving this answer, but Morocco. Those are the 5 top ones at the moment. All of those places have a lot of good things about living there. Now, I'm putting Morocco at the bottom of that list. All of these would be lottery-winning territory, so that's kind of a prerequisite. But Morocco is... It's a rich people haven, so there's a lot of things they do to try and make it as nice of a place to live as possible. But simply by living there, and I don't want to get into the details here, but simply by living there, you are very much contributing to a lot of problems. Like economically, globally, so... That's why it's the 5th list on the list. I'm pretty sure I would much, much rather live in any of the other 4 spots. Where are you at? Where are you at? Take a pudding. There you are. I'm coming. You lived? Tahiti. No. Heat, humidity, and some other problems I'm not going to get into. How did you... Okay, whatever. Yeah, that's another thing. I am not Japanese, and I am aware of how much of a problem that would be to live in Japan. Ow. No, I don't think that would ruin the Force for me. It would depend entirely on how well you do it, Latario. You know me. I like good writing.
Can you breathe?
We just need one last score. And then we could go to Tahiti. I wouldn't want to live in France. The Netherlands would actually probably be okay. I don't know much about Belgium, and Germany needs to get its frickin' power problems centered before I even think about that. What do I think about living in the Bahamas? I'm just gonna agree with your quote, Latario. Speedway, let's catch up on questions, because we're running towards the end of this stream here. Let's see. So Casual asked an interesting one. What if we did a thing where the Republic is actually the long-lost ancient civilization, instead of, you know, the Gree, or the Rakata, or the Eshka, or any other ones? I actually kind of like that idea. The only downside is, like the Vader question we talked about earlier, that would be such a sea change to Star Wars that the very face of the modern galaxy would be completely different. So that would be a huge change. Not that I'm against that. It's just that would be a lot of work to decide what is the state of the galaxy. I mean, I wouldn't want to live in Turkey in general. There's actually several places I could settle in a while, but yeah, I'll take the Valley of the Four Winds, thank you. Alright, now that Crazy Norse is gone, let's talk about teaching and education.
Shh, keep it down. Close the door. I figured this was the last place the Void Wolf's bloodhounds would go digging, but it won't be long.
The Imperials are thick out there. We should go, quickly.
It's not that easy. He's got his fingers in the Republic now. The Void Wolf's been recruiting. He's courting Hutts, the White Maw, hitmen for hire. Anyone who won't pledge loyalty goes to hard vacuum. And he's got enough spies in our space station that my cover was blown the minute I landed. What do you think? Is there a way you can smuggle me up without any of his people or our people catching wise?
As it happens, smuggling's my specialty.
Good, because there's as many loyal guards up there as spies. I need to get past them, not through them, if you know what I mean. I was going to hide in there. It's an automated cargo shuttle full of everything here the Void Wolf thought worth keeping. Go to the space station and get security to let us through, and you're welcome to keep everything in it. I trust you can come up with a story to explain why you're shipping Imperial droids off Hoth.
Yeah, I could probably swindle that. Rendezvous at my ship. Okay. Actually, hang on. Let's go back here. Hang on. Who would win? Darkside Yoda or Idiot? Probably Idiot. Answer that one. Answer that one. Answer that one. Do I think Darksided Bastila would do what Jason did and kill anyone who tries to sleep with Revan? Yes. Falling to the dark side's like becoming a heartless. Falling to the light side's like becoming a nobody. No. I get where you're going with that, but it's a different axis. You know what I mean? It has been argued that Darkside Yoda would be substantially stronger than regular Yoda, because we know for a fact that regular Yoda holds back constantly. Darkside Yoda wouldn't. Oh no, it's a customs agent.
Stop it right there. I'm going to need your ID, your papers, and a blasted good reason why you're flying in and out of a war zone for kicks.
I could kill this guy.
This is a private job for Jedi Master Suma Lee. You want to tell her you tried to stop me?
Far as I know, our Jedi advisor was killed weeks ago. I think I need to take a look-see, make sure you're not trying to smuggle valuable resources off Hoth.
I swear, it's nothing like that. It's a rare herb for my, grandmother. She's very sick.
Try a little silver coating on that lie. Maybe I'll buy it. I'm talking credits if you didn't follow.
It's just straight up. And 3 times in a row, the game gives me the option to just murder this guy. 3 times in a row. Now, the thing is, I probably should kill him. He's a customs agent who's up for bribery. He is the definition of a corrupt official. And I think corruption's worthy of death, don't you agree?
My apologies. Take this. My poor sick grandmother will thank you.
I'm sure she will. You're free and clear, sir. Long live the Republic.
What are you doing back there, Giga?
Neatly done. I'll reimburse you the bribe, of course.
It's whatever.
Nothing better than a damsel in distress who picks up the tab.
Honey, I haven't been a damsel in a long time. But it's cute that you're trying. I can take it from here. I've got my own ship stashed a few hangars down. Thanks for the help. You're welcome to any of the salvage in the shuttle. Some of it might fetch a good price. And I'll make sure you get anything I learn about the Void Wolf.
Oh, and to answer your last question, Latario, I've reached a point in my life where I start to deliberately avoid news. I know what you're thinking. Haven't you always been that way? No, I mean like really avoiding news. So I'm not that familiar with the specifics on what's going on in the Bahamas. I believe in you, Mr. Red. And I don't mean that facetiously. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. God damn it. Fine. Button.
Mission accomplished. Sheris is safe.
I admit, I was wondering what to think of Senator Dodonna's pet project. But you saved a life here, and aided the war. I can say nothing but thank you.
I've never shaken hands with a real Jedi before. Are you nearby?
Don't even start.
Even if I hadn't renounced worldly pleasures, I know far better than to come between Risha and any man she's eyeing. Perhaps we'll catch up again sometime, Risha.
Not sure my current occupation will bring me anywhere near the Jedi Temple, but maybe.
I hope this war ends swiftly enough that I will not have cause to call on you again.
Set course for Voss then, Captain? The permits from Dodonna just came through.
If it gets me closer to Rogan's head on a plate, Voss it is.
I took the liberty of looking into the place. Weird planet. Just made contact with the rest of the galaxy after a Sith ship crashed there. Apparently the whole planet's on the leash to some cult of Force users. Empire and Republic are both playing along. This'll be one to wear your best shirt. And remember to say, please.
Hey, hand sanitizer. And thank you for the sub, as always. I suppose you know the question. Oof. You just missed a planet that I need to do some math, if you don't mind, because I'm actually curious of something. One moment. Here, have some random music while I look this up. Okay. Hoth is 2 pluses to story, 1 negative to story, and 6 gameplay negatives so far across all 3 categories we're tracking. That's not great. I think that actually surpasses Belsavis, but I'm not sure. Okay, so that's 2, 1, and 6, right? So that's actually, excuse me, it's 2, 1, 0, 6. Let's actually say that correctly. So let's check Belsavis here. So we've got... I forgot about a category, actually. Sorry. Hang on. So that's... Someone write this down, please. 0308. Sorry, so Hoth is actually 2109, and Belsavis is 0308. So hang on, let's... 2109, there we go. So yeah, that's 2 pluses to story for Hoth, 0 pluses to story for Belsavis, 3 negatives for Belsavis to story, 1 negative to Hoth for story. Neither of them have a gameplay plus. Belsavis is 8 negatives to gameplay. Hoth is 9. That's a hell of a spread. That's kind of a judgment call as to which of those is worse. You don't deserve
I
this
knew
music.
your whole only in it for the money thing was just a front. Thank you, Captain. I couldn't live with myself if we'd left Dan Lazine with that pig.
Hardly makes up for killing her husband.
She's probably not the first widow we've ever left, Captain. You just gotta hope it all evens out, you know? Governor's office on Ord Mantell says thanks, by the way. With the disarm codes, they finally got real peace there. It's hard to say if something like that is worth a life.
But yeah, obviously, I think in terms of numbers anyways, but let me talk that out for those of you who don't. That means Hoth has some good story and a little bit of bad. Belsavis has bad story 3 times over, and both of them have absolutely terrible gameplay. Now, I gotta go kill someone's wife. I think I need to kill Gigapudding's wife, so... I've been debating something with Ivory. I think I actually gave... Oh no, I am debating a positive for Ivory. That's what it was. I should probably just codify that since we're done with that at this point, I'm pretty sure. So that would make it 1308 and 2109.
You spent 100 years being miserable, pal. You're overdue for a little serenity.
I am content. For a long time I fought to repay debt. Now I fight for a friend. I never believed I would say those words. Thank you. Could you use different sound effects for the Wookiee, please? Like, it's kind of irritating talking to Bodar, even if he wasn't a one-note character. Which he totally freaking is, by the way.
So, have I been looking any more convincing with the lightsaber? I mean, it's about as much use to me in a fight as a glow-in-the-dark belt buckle. But I figure if I wave it around, maybe it'll scare people off.
Hold up. I just thought of a perfect song for him, and if you know the song, you'll get it, and if you don't, I apologize. Hang on, I gotta find it. Oh god, where is it? There it is. This is Gus's theme song.
You think you can get me one of those?
I'll keep my eye out. This was the only lightsaber we had, you know, in the whole Enclave. I wasn't in the Jedi Academy proper. Never made it that far. My master ran a recruitment center on Nar Shaddaa. I don't think he had the guts to actually bring me out in public.
Doesn't sound like much of a life.
It was a step up from prison.
I was suddenly cut off cutscene.
I need you to teach me to fight dirty. You'd think I'd be good at that, you know? But when it gets beyond cowering in doorways, I'm pretty much all point and shoot. Show me how you work your magic.
Set your blaster on stun. We'll take some time and see what you're made of.
Stun, huh? That's a good idea.
Yeah, thank you. What's funny is, if you remember, they actually did add specific roars for Chewbacca back in Star Wars. But then again, that was a manually crafted audio design of Amazing, and, well, this is like 5 canned voice files, so whatever. My one true love.
You probably think I'm chasing Debrillion's throne to get rich, don't you?
A little bit, yeah.
You're a much more complicated woman than that.
You think I'm complicated, but in a good way, right? Because I am complicated. I've seen what bad leadership does to a place. Alderaan, Nar Shaddaa, even Coruscant. They all suffer because of who's in power. I'm not looking to plunder Debrillion. I want to make it better, run their society the right way.
From everything I've heard about your homeworld, it could use someone decent in charge.
Never thought of myself as decent before. Maybe I can sell that. Every successful leader has the same strength. They're perceived as generous by their subjects. Give the people just enough of what they want, and they'll leave you alone. That's something the King of Dubrillion doesn't understand.
You can't give people what they want if you can't afford it. Maybe Dubrillion isn't as wealthy as you think.
It's wealthy enough to support an aristocracy. Of course, they need to get paid off, too. I can make this work. It's all about negotiation, and I'm good at that. I'm just thinking out loud now. We should get back to business.
I'm actually not sure who wrote the Smuggler story arc.
Been thinking about our decision to keep things casual. Thought I'd make sure you're still alright with it.
In case you haven't noticed, I never stopped chasing you.
We've been running a long time. That takes real stamina. It could be years before I'm on Debrillion's throne. Seems a shame to limit my options in the here and now. You seem to know what I like. Heard of any opportunities I should explore?
That is a hell of a pickup line.
There's only one, Risha. I'll never settle for second best. I don't think you should either.
Oh, wow.
Good answer. I look forward to continuing this discussion later.
Our conversation's just starting. I've got plenty more to say.
We won't run out of things to talk about. Good to know. We can't just stand here staring at each other. We have some exciting caper to pull off, don't we?
That's weird, Lune Ruth. And I have actually played one of the Marvel Ultimate Alliances. Don't ask me which one, I don't actually remember. But I have played one of them. It was quite fun. I played it with local co-op.
Tell me, Captain, how do you choose your path in life? What guides you?
To hear the lamentations of the women.
My code's simple. Treat everyone how I want them to treat me.
That is no code. It is wishful thinking. I adhere to the res sonare, the core of what it means to be Mandalorian. A sacred law giving us direction and purpose. Education and armor, self-defense, our tribe, our language, our leader, all help us survive. We must educate our children as Mandalorians, obey the commands of Mandalore, speak Mandoa, and defend our clans.
I'm thinking the galaxy has the wrong idea about Mandalorians. You people sound all right.
Few have the strength to follow the res sonare. That is why the weak always hate us.
And random fade to black.
My travels with you have been worthwhile, Captain. Few Mandalorians experience Republic space as I have. Fewer still see the Jedi up close without having to kill them.
I appreciate your restraint. What is it with Mandalorians and Jedi anyway?
We can only grow stronger through conflict against worthy foes. Jedi are the most respected warriors in the galaxy. And yet, they have never truly defeated the Mandalorians. No matter how punishing our defeats by them, we always return. One day the Jedi will bow down before us. There is a method to your madness. When we met, I thought your fighting was driven by impulse, with no strategy or plan. But I began to see a pattern in the chaos.
My style serves me well.
That I have never questioned. I have thought of incorporating some of your tricks into my own repertoire. It would certainly earn me the edge of surprise should I be among Mandalorians again.
And yes, now that we're taken by Risha, we can't flirt with Spar anymore. Sorry. So I hesitate to use the words cheap knockoff, but let's be very clear about this. The Mandalorians started as a cheap knockoff of the Klingons. Now that being said, obviously they have done some good stuff with the Mandalorians over the years, especially in more recent times. I rather like them in both Clone Wars and Rebels, and I've been hearing nothing but good things about The Mandalorian, you know, the show. But I will say, I think the Mandalorians tend to be a little bit too basic, especially, you know, in this game we're playing right here. They do have much cooler armor. I absolutely agree with that. Ironically, though, I find the Klingons to be more interesting, because there's so much more culture and politics going on there. Now, granted, the Klingons arguably have the time advantage, because Klingons have been around since the 60s, but point remaining. So I could stream for another 4 minutes. Or we could just chop off here, because, like, we're just going to the next planet, right? We're just going to Voss. So let me check how the HUD's looking here. Where are we at on the HUD? Well, I agree with that, Sarura. I mean, I find the Klingons to be absolutely fascinating. I've never been quiet about that. Every now and again, they're given a chance to really be fleshed out, and every now and again, they're really awesome. And then every now and again, they're stupid. And the sister of Tukuvma. Okay, so the HUD hasn't updated because we haven't really changed a lot with regards to the smuggler stuff. Because I'm still debating a lot of positives. And I am. I'm still debating humor, dialogue, Risha, Spar, Gus, and general storyboarding, because there's been some decent cutscenes. But tomorrow's Thursday, right? Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll hit up Voss and see how that is. Hope you all have enjoyed. See you next time.